I filled my hard drive with the love of Jesus.
I fill my hard drive with the love of Jesus. And
Jesus,
now,
take the hard drive.
Oh man.
what's going on? I'm gonna leave Jesus take the hard drive in. That was pretty good. What's up, guys? It's Lord the Caliber time. It's actually also it's a very special day today because this goes live on Sunday, but we recorded on Thursdays. I'm gonna say it again because I'm really proud of myself in light of like my existence. Today is Black Dragon Gaming's 1 year anniversary. I've been doing this thing for 365 days, and it's been great.
Nice.
Before we kick off, the IOPC is here with us as always. I will thank Kane, Adam, and Colin for being my friend and for being around and for inviting me to their house so I can min-max and make Adam uncomfortable and also hang out with Kane and Colin, and of course Donald and Van for holding it down till everybody else came around, and Joe of all people from like way back in the day when we're just screwing around throwing dice, and now the ball is rolling really hard. I still don't know how to feel. I still don't. What is life? I don't know. Right now, I don't need to know, though. I don't need to know until about 10 p.m. So we're going to do some Lord the Caliber.
You don't exist. It's okay.
Yeah, that's right, Colin. You don't. And I'm really tempted to have you go first, but I rolled a 1. So Enterlings in character reflection for that hero point, if you would, sir.
Well, Enderling's a bit regretful that he didn't go in with the casters on their little adventure out into the cold. He's just spent all day fighting that stupid dragon thing that Lucia wants to drag around with her all the time. It would have been quite nice to fight that Hell Knight, see what they're made of. But, well, maybe if we don't flee like cowards into the Underdark, we can have another chance at it. Of course, I do understand the necessity of retreating. I don't know. It's hopefully all part of some sort of plan that we have that we just don't realize.
Fair enough. Take that hero point, my dude. Next is Kazaha the Colorful, Adam Spade. Take it away, my friend.
Turn up the music, Pogue. Turn up the music. I've got the lights going. No, brighter. Brighter, yes, brighter. That is what we're looking for. Yeah. He was occupied with the dragon last time as well, and after he got bored with that, he was messing around with Pogue in a dance parlor type thing for their igloo, so, I mean, it was a session for him that he just kind of chilled, for lack of a better colloquialism.
For lack of a really good pun.
Hey, that is a good pun. The world's freezing over.
Yeah, it is. It's very good. Super good. And so he gets his hero point, literally for the pun. And then Joe has to go again.
It was a yeah.
Alright, Colin.
The ice pun.
As someone who had a big session, a real big session, last session, how's Andrew feeling?
Well, I'm not really sure what to think anymore. I spent most of my life knowing something, at least I think I did, but then I didn't, and now I'm not really sure if I even know that. But so much is going on. Am I even real? I shouldn't exist, but here I am. I feel like I'm real. Other people can see me. I can react to other people. Are they real? Oh, what is life? Mysteries, mysteries, mysteries. I suppose with all of that, nothing has really changed. And spent a long time trying to unravel the mysteries of the universe and reality in my existence, and now I just have more mysteries to deal with.
That is very fair. Take your hero point, my friend. Next is you again. Actually, it isn't. Actually, it's Van. Pogue Mahone! Our littlest little stabby rip stab stab.
DJ!
DJ Pogue Mahone!
DJ Pogue Mahone in the house! Yo, what's up with you? The dance party's all well and good, and, you can pretend Kaza's attractive in the right light, I guess, maybe, but you know, it's still not the real thing, and it would have been much better if the squishies had just actually teleported to the shop like they said they were going to, or we could have come along with them and you know, made sure they didn't get, well, you know, what happened to them, caught out in the cold with their cheese in the breeze. But what would have been better even was a good old-fashioned Callistrian dance party, including some followers of Callistria. I'm just saying.
Fair enough. Take that hero point. And it's gonna be Donald or it's gonna be Kane. The dice have chosen Kane. Francis Root, narrowly surviving an attack because I forgot some attacks in a full attack action. How you doing, buddy?
Just kill me. Just let me die. Let me slip quietly into this good night. I got beat up real bad yesterday, and I'm not happy about it. It's a running theme, Safaris. I'm not happy. There's no trees here. We're gonna go back underground, maybe. And again, we might just huddle in through the tundra for the next, good God knows how long, fighting off Hell Knight ambushes. Maybe I'll get stabbed in the neck again. That'll be fun.
Oh, it's always fun.
Aye, that's my favorite part of the day.
Yes, same.
It's good old Hell Knight neck stab time. It's about 4:30 p.m. You know, you do that, you get a little neck stab, and you go back home for some dinner, and then you just flagellate yourself for 6 hours and cry yourself to sleep.
Oh, Zon Kuthon. Take that hero point, Donald. Take us home.
What's going Lucia mind? With the Hell Knights chasing after her, she definitely needs an energy type that she can use on herself to heal herself and on her foe. So she definitely needs to figure a way how to use necromancy to her advantage, to use negative energy to heal herself and to harm her enemies. So it's a nice weapon type she needs to figure out how to do by doing her research into necromancy.
How's Lucia feeling? She's feeling like asking the GM for some mechanical shenanigans to heal herself with inflict spells. Take that hero point, my friend. And now,
mechanically, it's just leveling up in the prestige class. Do that for me.
oh, fair enough. Never mind. Even better. I don't have to GM fiat it. That's the best. And now we're gonna dive in. If you're not Xandu, make a perception check.
I'm in the wrong window for that.
Ooh,
I accidentally opened up Francis's character sheet.
Speaking of Francis,
Yeah, you know what? I'll spend the hero point. Maybe I'll die today.
hey, if you die, you can edit more of my content that I get officially from Paizo.
33.
If you don't spend the hero point, then you will die, but you won't see it coming.
Fair.
So.
I take it back. I don't spend the hero.
You're dead, and you don't even see the next stab.
So we're just waiting on a... Did I get everybody? I see. Pug with that 38-34 from Kazaha. Francis has a 33. Donald has a 24 with Lucia and a 19. Okay, so...
4.
Enterling doesn't quite pick up on it.
That should be a 20. That should be a 20. And for some reason, it only rolled as a 14. I have a 15 perception. I don't know why.
Tight. Enterling picks up on it then. We did it. Enterling shakes his head and realizes something's up. You guys look at Xandu, and as you do, the whole, like, world around Xandu kind of, like, shifts slightly to the left, is almost how it feels. Almost as if, like you blinked and everything moved a little while your eyes were closed. Everything's still obviously in one place. There's still, like, snowy Armageddon outside in preparation for the elfin end of the world. It's still super cold, but Xandu himself feels different. You think the name Xandu in your head, like, while referring to this image you see before you, and it kind of, like, slides off him. As if, like, it refuses to stick, as if that's actually him. Lucia would know a little more. Lucia, when she thinks Xandu, she doesn't think this, like, man barely into his middle years, she thinks of an old house slave back at the LaCroix Estates. You guys aren't super proud. Well, yeah, no, you are. We're going to run with it. You guys use a lot of necromancy at House LaCroix to get the menial tasks and work on the land and stuff done. And when you think Xandu, you think a really old man who had been reanimated by one of your father's wizards to just kind of perform crappy menial tasks around the farm. And to stick it to someone who's obviously as put together as Xandu is and as powerful as he is nonsensical to you. Also, everyone is aware that you guys have, and this isn't off the perception check, but you guys definitely have Emmy in the party. She's unconscious right now. Mechanically, she has 20 hit points. And now the floor is yours.
Is that 20 hit points total?
Yes.
The floor joins the party as well.
The floor is a giant mimic. It would like to help you fight the Hell Knights.
What? How many hit dice does the floor have?
Trying to make sure that Emmy's nice and warm.
Kazuha's leg on top of Emmy.
I mean, it's the end of the world. We gotta stay warm.
I don't know. Are Munavri? I guess they'd need to be warm-blooded, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Well, you're not a reptile.
And even if you were, you would.
Or a dinosaur. Or
it's possible.
Yeah. Stranger things have happened.
That's right. Now they're in season 2.
So I heard that LaCroix were cold-blooded also. So
yeah, I hear that too. So you guys, especially Lucia, would know, and Xandu, would know that since you've broken line of effect, essentially, you've got that bunch of dirt and stone and rock and stuff out from, like, over your head, you are able to be scryed. And there are certainly people out there who would have, like, mechanically the circumstance bonuses to be, like, it's a lot easier for someone from House LaCroix to scry Lucia, for example, because they would know her better. You can definitely expect both sides of the current conflict in Avestan to be making their way here. Whether that means somebody looking for you to help you out, somebody to bring you up to speed on things, or another Hell Knight attack is entirely up to chance.
So it seems like we want to find a good place to pull up, so to speak, where we can defend but also receive aid.
You could.
Well, this palace might not be a terrible idea for that, because it is defensible. It's large, it's got heavy walls. The problem up here staying in the palace is keeping warm. The problem downstairs is there's still like half a clan of real pissed off giants sort of looking for us. Not that there isn't a literal army of people up here looking for us too, but at least here we know where the entrances and exits are, I guess.
Okay. We have in Drow of dubious allegiance.
The Darklands is definitely not a safe place, but you also imagine that safety's kind of out the window right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
When it comes to safety in the Darklands, there is safe in terms of dangerous, and there is not safe in terms of dangerous. So picking your hazards in terms of safety.
That's fair. It's kind of like yellow light in terms of resting. Like something's going to find you.
So can you tell us some more about the palace, or can we perceive it or knowledge engineering it to understand? Is it, kind of a fortressy type palace, or is it more, sort of French Versailles type palace?
It's
in appearance, at least.
It's less fortressy and more just like the definition of the word opulence. This is the beginning of the Gold Road, which carries like all the wealth on Galarion across the multiverse. Like there's definitely stops in like the City of Brass and the Plate of Fire. There's definitely stops all over the place. Kathir has its walls. It's defended on one side by the Inner Sea. The palace, not so much. It's a really big, really opulent palace that has been stripped of anything that burns or is edible.
So, Tommy, I know over the week we talked about what Xandu does and doesn't remember, and
we did, yeah.
I still don't know.
Okay,
So I'm gonna go ahead and make a check
Sure.
for that.
Okay.
Best I got's knowledge arcana, at least as far as applicability goes.
Yeah, this is definitely some arcane stuff. Actually, it's psionic. Well, not psionic. It's psychic.
24.
Okay, so Xandu is aware that he isn't Xandu. He is. It's really, 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 really foggy as you try to put the details together. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's kind of a, in the back of your head as you're working it out, there's a bit of a like, I have to protect Emmy, runs across the back of your thoughts. Not unlike a chained attack dog who's moving to the edge of the fence and then doesn't do anything because there's no danger, so it kind of like backs up. That's the only thing you can really latch onto.
So I don't remember the other seer or anything like that.
You do not.
Okay.
You would know that your name is kind of irrelevant. It's a name that people have given you, but you don't necessarily feel any attachment to it. It's just, it is. That statement feels kind of Dr. Manhattan-y.
Is it kind of a Dread Pirate Roberts thing, or?
I don't know what that means.
No,
Xandu's... You haven't seen The Princess Bride, huh?
I watched like halfway through it and lost interest.
All the subscribers, make sure you comment. Don't strike until he sees the whole movie.
Yeah, because that's just shameful.
That movie was bad.
It's shameful, Tom.
that was a great movie.
Oh, how is it great?
You shut your mouth,
I
Tom.
subscribe.
Shut your mouth.
Ow!
Oh man, Tommy, you had such a bright future ahead of you.
I know,
So
and then I
always.
got committed political suicide by not liking a movie. How dare I?
Well, it was good knowing you.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
guess.
So, no, so
I
so
believe
it's-
last time we talked about, I believe last time Poe brought up an idea, or we as a group came to the idea that we would spend a night in the igloo because we knew it was relayed to us via message that there was possibly an invisible individual with us. So we were going to set up some kind of trap in the igloo. Everybody was going to either get in the igloo or a singular room, and then wait on that, whatever it was, to come in, and then wah!
in that invisible thing, we're not including what's his ghost?
Yarva?
Yarva is very much not visible.
Right, so we're not including him. There's somebody else.
Yeah,
that-
they're
Right.
when we were ambushed by the Hell Knight earlier, there were some spellcasters with him,
Right.
but I didn't see them leave.
So my question
Well,
for
I don't. Okay, the absence of proof, or the oh man, not having proof that they don't exist doesn't say that they do. Is what I'm trying to say. They could just have fucked off for all we know.
Yeah, they could have. But they could also kill us in our sleep.
They could kill us right now, considering.
so how many feet of ice does it take before somebody can't scry through it?
Ice is that's a really good question. It's usually like we're talking about like lead or stone
Yep, far as
Right.
Or wood.
Or wood.
Yeah. I don't know if ice stops it.
I mean, it's a solid. I think this is a thing just for solids.
It,
You can just like,
it depends
or
on
whatever.
the type of scrying spell too. If it's powerful enough, it doesn't matter except for lead, from what I remember.
I believe that is
But
the
But if it's
case.
low level
And
enough,
there's a wizard spell called lead plating, but it lasts per a minute, not hours. So can't really use that for the purpose we need
No.
it for.
Okay. Just wondering. So back to the question about Xandu. Put in terms that Tommy can understand.
Oh, thanks.
Using small words. No,
Psychic
is-
spell
is it-
he does.
Is Xandu the name of the seer, or like everybody's who takes that position is Xandu, or is it Xandu's a given name, and you get Xandu the Seer and Fred the Seer and Joe the Seer, or is it what I mean?
From Pogue's perspective, you've never the name should fit him, but it does not.
Right. So that's what I'm asking. Is this the realization that all of a sudden, wait, you're like Bizarro Xandu, or is it that you were kind of fulfilling some role that had Xandu attached to it, and now that you are not fulfilling that role for some reason?
Both are inaccurate. That probably put them together. It probably paints 40% of the picture. I feel like it's more like you knew this person as this person, and now you know this person. You still you've definitely fought alongside Xandu, and you've seen him cry over his daughter. But that no longer as if that entire the personality exists, but he as him does not.
What about Lucia knowledge on Xandu?
The name it equates to a slave who is currently probably I don't know how the zombies that pick the grapes in the vineyards are handling Ragnarok, but
I think they are mindless.
I'm very aware he's mindless. What I'm saying is, what is he doing right now when the world is ending? Probably not tending the fields. In that case, he's probably been mass conscripted. Conscripted is the wrong word, considering he can't consent because he's dead. But it's that idea. The name Xandu once applied to this guy, and you knew that he was supposed to be some powerful something or other in outside the northern territories of Cheliax, talking Magnamar and Corvosa and stuff in the Varisian territories. But now it just doesn't it doesn't apply to him. That was just another rebel who'd been killed and brought back in unlife to serve the Holy Chelish Empire.
All right. Van the player is confused, as well as Bug Mahone the player character. So is Xandu here with us still talking, or we're looking at an unconscious Xandu?
Yeah, he's there. He's the character is still there, yes.
I think
unless he feels taken off, he's there.
I think I can actually put this together. This is probably a alternate timeline, or this is another identity form. So, Xandu would have been the zombie slave in the Chelish Empire, but this is another version of him, either from my alternate timeline or another version of him in our same timeline.
Can you justify that with a knowledge check?
You can justify that with Star Trek timelines.
Knowledge.
Sure, that Marvel timelines.
Why not?
Knowledge or Arcana.
Yeah, just roll it, Donald.
Oh shit! Zip, boom, bam!
That's a natural 20. Okay, so you're not entirely incorrect. It's more along the lines. And it dawns on Lucia, because Lucia is this the one who comes from money and the one who has had the opportunity to study the various schools of magic. Xandu is what's known as a thought form creature. That is to say that he is sentient, he is real, he is tangible, but he is the creation of someone's mind. Someone has envisioned that they need a this, and then that this appears.
So normally, we have to believe in Tinkerbell. We have to believe in Tinkerbell.
Nope, shut up.
Okay.
Normally, it's
we believe in you, Sam. So, come on.
Normally, it's the caster would need to be concentrating to create it, kind of like a tangible illusion. But Xandu seems to have full control over himself. It's obvious it has to be the Kitsune girl, based on what you saw at on the streets of Kathir. But yeah, he's a thought form creation. Him? Yes.
Everybody is now on the same page as Khazakha.
Yep, you did it.
I do not believe in psychics. Does he fall down?
Lucia is pretty cocky at first, helping King all this through.
Lucia probably would also have a little more insight into the events of the Battle of Fort Rannoch, that one shot. You know that the Xandu who's working in your like estates is just kind of a crazy old man, but it dawns on you that if this girl had somehow formed an attachment to this person, they might, under duress, like if that person were to get hurt, conjure up a person more capable of defending themselves and enter Xandu.
So
Lucia would also know it's relevant because she crit that it's probably taking all of that poor Kitsune girl's mental energy to keep Xandu as as sentient and lucid as he is. So you imagine if she were to wake up, that probably means the end of Xandu's existence, like permanently, because you can look at her and you can see she's just a kid. She's in her like early teens. Unless there's something you're missing, she's nowhere near powerful enough to do this, let alone do it again if something were in the spell.
So didn't she wake up and he disappeared and then she went back to sleep and he came back?
There were natural 20s and natural 1s involved.
Okay.
You know that there's a 5% chance of everything being awesome or bad. But natural 20 allows you to see the meta a little better.
So how is Xandu taking all of this?
Xandu is not aware Lucia knows yet, unless he's detecting thoughts, which he has not. Unless Lucia is talking about this out loud.
Yeah, I would figure out how you came to be using my fantastic logic for how you came to be, and then the Kitsune girl connection to you. So how does it feel about all this?
So we can get out of the what the player knows versus what the PC knows. Pogue is sitting there insistently kind of tapping Lucia on the side of her brain with
on the side of her brain.
With message. He's sitting there inside her head with message going, So what's going on? So Lucia, what's wrong with Xandu? What's up? What's wrong? Hey,
to be honest, you're likely to get more help from Kazuha or somebody else than her.
Yeah,
literally anyone else.
I try to give as simple as possible what Xandu is to Poe.
I'm really tempted to call for opposed knowledge arcana checks, both for you to explain it to the layman and for the layman to get it, but I won't because that'll take time. But I want you to know I thought about it.
To be fair, Poe's bard.
Yeah.
He's a caster.
I know. Like, you have a chance.
No, I'll roll a knowledge arcana.
All right, fine. You call my bluff. Got a knowledge arcana. Pogue knowledge arcana. Pogue needs to win the opposed roll to understand it. Oh, well, there's a 34. With the 33.
Nice.
Lucia, yeah, you barely understand it, but you get it. You can definitely tell Lucia's kind of talking down to you a little. But Pogue is aware that he's looking at a thought-form creature.
Right. A thought-form creature in your
This
head.
is an interesting phenomenon.
So was that dice roll?
Would have had thought I would have never seen such a thing in my lifetime.
What's interesting to me is she's plus 16 and I'm plus 15.
Yeah, you rolled a 19 and she rolled a 17.
Something. I'm like, wait a minute. Isn't this her? This is her main thing.
It is one of the things that I'm good at besides spellcraft, planes.
You both have knowledge all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brainy boys.
Kazuha is still attempting to turn the conversation towards the mental conversation towards figuring out a way to see if there is anyone invisible in here with us, or if not, whether we're going to stay in the castle or down low.
Xandu is very distracted right now, I will say. He doesn't have any idea anybody's talking behind his back.
Kazuha will go. Xandu, pay attention.
What? Kazuha? What's up?
What's your opinion? Are we staying up here or are we going down into the Darklands?
My opinion is that we should try to find the dwarves. At least they'll have some fortifications where hopefully we can attract more allies than enemies for the time being.
A good idea, Zando. We should go through the Darklands to make as much room as possible to get away from our would-be hunters.
Kazla just wants to go back and get that car, huh?
Stay out of my mind, Paul.
Yeah,
Arendelle is no longer helping
all
us.
Over your face. I
Other subplot
I can
revealed.
read the signs of lust.
I do not. I am not going to judge you on that. It is a pretty nice machine. A machine that vehicle was.
I know, it was like going like hundreds of miles. It was amazing. It was amazing.
We should go back.
I thought I was the one with the midlife crisis right now.
we should go back into the Darklands, find the vehicle, teleport there, and then make our choice which way we want to go to get to the dwarves.
But before that happens, before any of that happens, let's have Pogue roll percentage dice. Let's have Pogue be the one who's the arbiter of fate.
Oh, Jesus. You better give me some luck, because I'm a lucky halfling.
We'll see.
Oh, I need to actually remember how to...
I don't think you need the luck. Okay, no, do it again. Do it a second time. Yeah, the Sandpoint Devil shows up, but you guys are level 10.
We murder the crap out of it.
The sun comes out, the sun comes out, the snow disappears, and...
Tomorrow.
An army of Callistrian pleasure slaves comes walking up to the palace.
You did it. Oh yeah.
Why would we want pleasure slaves? They have an actual army. I mean, they're also hookers, but they have an actual army.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so you guys.
They make love, not war. It's awesome. All right. So
who's going to appear? Somebody teleports into the palace. You rolled really well, so it's not a Hell Knight ambush. Let me. I have a lot. I have a lot.
How about Mercutio?
Not Mercutio. He's busy right now.
Yeah, but we could. How about his store of many things?
No, there are no more shops.
Just
over
the
it.
store.
It's just that dude with the cloak from Resident Evil 4.
What are you buying? Gonna liquidate all of our shit for us.
Oh yeah, all day. What are we doing? Who's coming in? I have so many NPCs.
A vending machine appears.
I'm tempted. I'm very tempted.
Garva becomes a vending machine.
We'll say, who have you guys met? Who did you guys latch onto? We could do Rivariel. I don't really want to do Rivariel. His arc in the story kind of got left behind when players didn't pick up on stuff. Let's actually, you guys see the man is definitely Kadiran. His skin is very, very dark. His beard is full, and it goes down to like almost his belly button, you imagine. But he's got a lot of like furs thrown over himself. He teleports in, he looks around, and he sees you guys.
John the Baptist.
It's John the Baptist. I don't know who that
See
is.
the guy that was lusting after Lucia?
Oh god, it could be that. It could be Gunnald. I have changed my mind. The world is ending. Let's get married and run away. And so they do so, and that becomes the Lordly Caliber.
If it's Gonod, then campaign it is over for Lucia, as Lucia and the half giant man make a snowman should end up happy ever after.
It was going to be just a random Kadiran general, but I think it's too good to not have it be Gunnald. So it is in fact Gunnald. He shows up, he looks over, he sees Lucia and quickly tries to not make eye contact with her, and instead looks over in Ennerling's direction, as Ennerling is his like the only other countryman, and he moves over to you guys and just, "We've been looking for you for months. Where have you been?"
Underground.
Schwarzenegger.
Deep underground.
He looks perplexed. He's you can tell he's a little like awkwarded out as this is happening, because he was told to go like he didn't know he was tracking Lucia. You can pick that up off the very easy sense motive as he tries to like stay as far away from her as possible.
This is the other necromancer, right?
Yeah, he's the necromancer by not by calling, but by like he and several other Ulfin are doing good works as far as their like culture is concerned.
His job,
because they're pulling people off the bone ship.
Yep.
He's probably like he doesn't have any undead with him, but you imagine somewhere there's like a paddock with a bunch of random zombies just stored in that, so they're not showing up at the end of days. He looks up into like out the window and just, I found them! Take us to camp! Does anyone not consent to be teleported?
No, I love it here in the cold in the palace, about to freeze to death.
Make sure
we're going to the cold to somewhere else, so
grab all our stuff and Emmy and Pogue yells, Scotty, energize!
Alright, you guys begin to dematerialize. Pogue looks down, he realizes his shirt is red, and a moment of meta dawns upon him.
Meta as two dudes with phaser rifles around the corner.
As Xandu Charlie X's really hard.
Pogue's last session.
It's tempting, it's very tempting. You guys, I'm gonna call for another perception check. That'll be fun. Actually, before I call for anything, everybody. I need to do this. Okay, you guys, I believe, do arrive on target. Okay.
Stop doing that. Alright.
Oh, yeah! Burning hero points on perception checks.
Oh, yeah.
Alright. It's not my day yet.
Oh, Xandu.
Oh, Xandu.
At least it
oh,
wasn't
man,
one.
think of something else. Emmy, please, think of better eyes.
How can you do that and not... Oh my god!
Because he put no ranks into perception because he wants to die.
Not none.
I would have to,
not much either.
I would have to roll a -16 to do that. I don't.
All right, so you land on a carpet of flying on the ground, and you can see they're stretched out as far as the eye can see, which is not far because you're still in the middle of a blizzard, but you've clearly arrived in a rebel camp somewhere. People
raid the cult carpet store?
They did, because they're all Qadiran, and it's an easy way to respond to 4 feet of snow. Just have something that can float over top.
It's a cottage industry. You know, all the kids are sitting around somewhere making carpets. Flying.
That's what Baba Yaga's up to with Hansel and Gretel. Just make more carpets. It's people react to you, but they don't respond necessarily. No, that's not true. They look in your direction and they kind of just like half disgustedly turn away.
I am going to send some.
Okay.
Been looking for us for months. Really not excited to see us.
It's kind of more like the common, not common, but like not anyone important. Lucy is just offended. The 10 on a sense motive. You're not sure why, but it's like these people are not respecting you guys at all. Gunnold begins making his way across the carpets of flying that stretch all across the ground. It's awkward for him. He kind of like, imagine if you could walk on a waterbed. It's about kind of like that. And if the waterbed,
definitely can imagine that.
What does Pogue think?
Yeah,
he has several.
Okay, Pogue thinks he's led his friends on a mission that got them nothing for 2 months, and people are pissed off about it. It's more specifically, it seems to be directed in Lucia's direction. This may be because people think that she has turned traitor. This may be because something else. Like, you know that it was her cousin who was made general of Taldor's armies.
Right.
And maybe something had to, like, some kind of tie in there. Maybe he did something bad and people are by proxy blaming Lucia.
Right.
It's all like,
well, you guys did let him escape and survive, so it is kind of your fault. So I'm just throwing that out there.
You're not wrong.
Kazahan not exactly the most sympathetic to Lucia's plight.
Classic.
We should go on ahead and see what we should do next.
Okay, so Gunnel he's taken off. He before he would hit the wall of snow, he looks back as if to see if you're following.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
we are.
And
Sandy was carrying Emmy along with.
okay.
I'm not excited to stay here in this
Kazaha is
wherever we are, full of people that.
Don't have any respect for.
Kazaha is staying
Wow, they're
close
just
to
so
Xander
dour.
Okay.
Kazaha, what?
And Emmy. specific.
I-
Is the blizzard so bad that we can't see each other, or what?
Nah, you can see about 10, 15 feet in front of you.
I mean, do we need to tie ourselves together or something? Or
Only if you're afraid that somebody's gonna go on a tangent.
Oh no,
I
we're doing that sandstorm again, Tommy.
Oh, we
Everyone's
are.
gonna tie themselves to Enderling.
There's no Gripply in this party. It'll be all right.
think of this on the
there's
bright
Pogue.
side. Think of this on the bright side. Everybody doesn't like me, and they like all of you more than me. So this is a glass half full situation for all of you to look at.
Yeah, but that's because it's a broken glass and we're holding it.
That sounds dangerous. That's how you cut.
Glass half full of
What are you guys
thumbtacks.
talking
Ugh.
about?
Yeah, I feel like this glass is a hole in the bottom of it.
We're mixing our metaphors.
Don't mix the metaphors, kids. Anyway, so
Xandu is going to try a perception check, or not a perception, a sense motive,
sure.
on the others, not on the people, but to see if anyone else knows besides Kazaha that he's not necessarily real.
Okay, sure.
We just haven't gotten around to telling you.
26.
Do we need to roll bluffs?
If Lucia or Pogue do not want to divulge the information, it's a bluff check. Otherwise, Xandu can sniff it out.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I'm not saying anything one way or another, but if he brings it up, then I would tell him.
Okay.
If
I mean, I was already kind of like, dude, what's up? So,
if Xandu bring the subject up, I'm going to tell him what he wants to know.
Okay, in that case, you can definitely tell that
Okay.
something's gone on between Lucia and Pogue. You definitely saw them point at each other and whisper, which is I love how message works so much.
Yeah. So, how much do you two know?
Kazaha just puts his arms up, Kazaha takes him out of his arms, holds his other arm up, and I didn't say anything. And
Pogue just
keeps
blurts
walking
out.
towards where we're supposed to be going.
You're a figment of. You're a
Enderling's been
figment
walking
of,
this whole time.
right, you're a figment of her imagination.
I think this is something Xandu already knows, right?
So you asked how much I know.
Xandu doesn't know that. Xandu knows
Oh.
he knows protect
real.
Emmy, and he knows
And
he's
then-
not. He knows he's not
so-
Xandu.
So
Yeah,
Pogue blurts,
well, that would make sense.
Pogue blurts that out, and then he looks at him with his eyebrow raised, and he says, "How much do you know?"
Well, now I know I'm a figment of her imagination. I know I'm not real, and I know that for some reason she's important.
I feel that is a blatant oversimplification, he says over his shoulder as he's continuing to walk towards Donald.
Yep, let's
Yep.
walk and talk at the same time.
Walk and talk.
Why are we
Let's
discussing this?
let go in the direction we're gone.
Yeah, we're
So as you
Yeah, we're
guys
following.
are having this conversation, you are led to a command pavilion. It's it looks like it used to be just kind of a big open tent that has been ramshackly made to be a closed thing because Blizzard. Gunnel moves in, he pulls back the flap and steps half in awkwardly. He's still Lucia freaks him out a little. It's pretty obvious, so he kind of waits for you guys to go in, and as you do so, he leaves. And sitting at a table across from about half a dozen men and women you don't recognize is Irindil and Arendil. They look up, they see Xandu. There's a little, like, flash of awkwardness.
Moment.
Ha! I see the Seer of Varizia didn't kill everyone. Wonderful! Welcome back to the Rebellion.
I have your book.
He holds out his hand. A book
You're
about
late.
the book about the grandpas. Arendil, as it crawls out of. I really hate role playing this homunculus, but as it crawls out of his robes.
Why did you choose an NPC that has a golden gram as a fucking familiar?
Because it was Sarah and I played the character together in a 5e game, and we used it in a golden gram familiar. We used it. We used it in the Blue Kobold Emporium, and now it's stuck because it's important to Xandu. Also, I like him. If I play him in a long form game, I'll kill the familiar. Actually, I won't. Familiars grant mechanical bonuses.
So Xandu will sort of
It'll just be mute.
hold his hand out and hand it back to him.
All right, he takes it, stuffs it into a bag.
Didn't the Necronomicon want to stay with Lucia?
No, it's Xandu. When I did roll.
Liked you when you did your spellcraft.
No, it was trying to get away from me.
No, I seem to remember it. Also, it did kind of lash on you.
20.
Yeah, you nat 20.
Yeah,
the
natural 20 allowed me to open it without any problems.
Okay.
Yeah, without it eating you. And I believe the flavor text was that it...
Like a puppy that found its master.
Willingly opened up.
Yep.
Yes, like a puppy that found its master or somebody to play with. So who does the Necronomicon want to be with?
You make a point. Let's roll the dice. That sounds fun. Okay, it does go to Irindil. It kind of it looks back a little, as it's being passed forlornly in Lucia's direction, and kind of whimpers like a puppy, but as it does so, the pages of the book flap in the wind a little. So I don't know how to make that noise with myself. So it just makes it, and you can imagine it, and it goes away. Ugh, my God. It turns into a very angry cat, and then goes away.
Don't you know what pages flipping sound like?
Not like that.
Not like that. That sounds like a pissy cat. So,
Right.
Irindil looks up, and the other men and women around the table where a map of Avestan has been displayed look up and just... So, how was Casimir?
Casimir was cold and unfriendly. We got a street view for about 5 seconds, and then ran for it. Apparently, we are all wanted.
It was a very frigid reception.
We encountered. We encountered a Hell Knight. If there's one, there are probably others with them in the area at that time.
Irindil just kind of nods. He's not. Kazaha gets an action point for the pun, according to Van. A sardonic smile goes across his face as if he's heard all this before. What do you have to show for it?
I've got a viper. What do you got? You've got a Care Bear.
He draws his dagger.
We have information.
Do tell.
The barrier doesn't extend underground. We can teleport there wherever we choose. And we found a way into the forest near the capital.
And the Dragon King doesn't have a daughter.
Didn't we have the body?
Yep.
Yeah, we do.
You guys do have Nemariel's body in a bag of holding. You begin to speak about the barrier, and Irindil cocks his eyes, or cocks his eyebrow. He can't cock his God. Can you imagine? Just his eyes move up 6 inches. Elves are strange.
Oh God!
He cocks his eyebrow. The generals around him kind of they begin muttering amongst themselves. Well, I suppose that's just about as good as a general who wanted peace, if only he could speak to his cousin first. Looking at Lucia.
Oh, and we found a cool car. Sweet ride.
My cousin, I haven't been
Was the
talking.
best wagon ever.
My cousin, I haven't talked to him since he went back. If I did, he and everyone else would have probably want me dead. Dead.
That is incorrect.
As much.
He wanted peace. But he would only talk to you. It is the same for your father. Do you know how many people are dead now because you weren't here?
What?
What? I didn't know they wanted to talk to me. I thought they wanted me dead.
Maybe you're not as smart as you think you are, girl.
We would have been topside sooner, but we did kind of get trapped in a cave with Gugs for a month.
That will happen when you go to the Darklands.
Yeah, if I knew people wanted to talk to me, then I would have had came back sooner.
2020 hindsight, Lucia.
2020 hindsight doesn't mean people are dead at the hands of Arcadian slaves.
We were going to free the Arcadian slaves.
Did you bother to send, out of curiosity, a psychic message to Lucia with such information?
He kind of like spreads his arms. We've been busy.
Ah, well, perhaps they have too. He says, still tending to Emmy.
The people in Churiax, they are dealing with their problems. So let's try to deal with the
They're not dealing with their problems, girl. They're dealing with killing us. There's no problems there. The Holy Chelish Empire and all their might doesn't want to stop for the end of the world, and they don't seem to be affected by the cold either. Maybe, just maybe, that's because they've been crucifying our soldiers to stay warm. There are definitely some of the generals around the table wear Sarenrae's holy symbol, and they get visibly pissed off when the conversation goes that direction.
Irindil.
Yeah.
You say you've been busy, but as far as I could tell, you had been at your shop for most of the time.
What is the sense motive for, Van?
To see, I was just typing it in to see if he's maybe trying to direct blame at us as opposed to in an effort to cover something else up.
Okay. He's visibly uncomfortable with the position he seemed to have found himself in. It's
Sure.
the other men around him are they are men of rank. You can tell by the way they are dressed, the way they carry themselves, the obviously magic weapons that hang from their hip, but they're nowhere near even as powerful as you guys. It would appear that Irindil has become kind of almost the de facto leader of possibly what remains of the rebellion.
Terrifying.
So Pogue jumps up and on a table or chair or something to address them.
Both exist.
Puts on his swagger. Maybe he jumps onto a chair and then a table and he says, "So, you blame Lucia for not being here, and that being why we're not at peace. But let me ask you this: before her cousin was in power, and they were all worshippers of the devils and Asmodeus and all of that stuff, they were out to get you. So now that they are worshippers of Sarenrae, and you guys are worshippers of Sarenrae, then how come, you're any worse off than you were before? I don't think it's fair to put this on Lucia. You would have got your ass handed to you anyway. And so now that you're getting your ass handed to you because she wasn't here, what's the difference? You should be grateful we're here now."
Make a social check.
Which one do you want?
Diplomacy, bluff, or intimidate. Bluff, not bluff. You're not lying. Also, I am a gnome. Bluff check.
You're a gnome?
It's just nothing. Pretend I didn't say anything. I thought it was fun.
I am going to aid. I'm going to aid you.
That was a lousy ass roll.
So add a +2.
Okay. He seems.
Bandu can also aid.
Okay.
25.
Anybody else want to jump in?
Yeah, I suppose. If they're not upset at her, they're not upset at me.
Okay.
That was also a piss poor roll.
And it's all you needed. Not to break the check, but it's all you like. That the aid another was successful. So I see a 32. Yeah. Okay. So Irindil is pretty unfazed by any of this. The generals around you, like you bring up the concept of like how now we all worship Sarenrae. We can be friends. Hooray! And a lot of them, they don't say anything. But actually, as you say this, a big argument breaks out. People start arguing about the merits of the faith and how the atrocities they've committed in the name of the Dawnflower are absolute heresy, and they tarnish the name of everything that Sarenrae stands for, and they'll never stop fighting because they need to, like, absolute blasphemy has been committed in their opinion.
All right, so Pogue's like, everybody, shut up.
That sounds like another check.
Intimidate?
You could. You could also say it nicely.
Girls, quiet, please.
You're all pretty.
You're all pretty.
I'll take you all to prom.
Yes! You've stolen a line from me. Alright, does anybody want to aid that 32?
I will.
Just nobody that one.
Hell Knights.
I still got a hero point.
Oh, I'm gonna throw it in, just hoping I get a nat one.
Okay. Okay. The crowd simmers down. Pogue is a lot louder than Pogue's size would lead one to believe.
Mm-hmm.
You have the floor.
So if he were to come to you to sue for peace in the name of Sarenrae, apparently, even if we were here, you would not be able to agree to that peace anyway.
He didn't sue for peace in the name of Sarenrae, you ignorant half-pint.
Okay, then what?
We never got that far. He's gone now.
And
it's entertaining that you think he would have even honored such an agreement in the first place.
Well, he's gone. Something must have been there. Everyone knows the LaCroix family's secret, birthing in Azamar.
Even if he did, it sounds like our generals would not be in any place to agree to a peace anyway. Perhaps smelling that out, he disappeared. If you all are untrustworthy and unable to agree, perhaps he felt that there was not enough nobility here to keep the word of a treaty of some sort, which is why he requested Lucia.
Irindil doesn't say anything. Arendil probably this whole time has been prancing around the table trying to get people to calm down and be nice.
Or he's mimicking Pogue walking back and forth.
Alongside the Necronomicon, which just kind of moves with him.
It's a little conga
That's
train.
what I will call. Arendil, come talk to me. Come talk to me and Emmy.
The little one comes over. Hi! Emmy is sleeping!
Yes. Have you or Arendil heard anything about the Dawnflower cult?
Uh-huh!
Oh. Are they still busy at the pit of Gormuz?
Uh-huh!
Oh. And Mustafa is still there, huh?
Mm-hmm. But the bad people are talking to him to try to get him to hurt us.
Oh. That does not sound good.
Nope.
That is good to know, Arendil.
I wish they would come back. Mustafa, that's a big word for a little like 6 intelligence familiar, was nice, and he gave us a place to be that wasn't in the slums.
How loud is he saying this, by the way?
Loud enough that Zandu can probably hear. Loud enough probably that everybody can hear it. Irindil looks a
loud
little
enough
off,
that
but
there's an echo in...
My favorite, is it Enderling or Enderling? The I
can't remember your name.
my favorite trollkin
Yeah.
Arendelle.
Arendelle, it's good to see you again.
Hi! It
It's-
waddles over, like, away from Kaza and Lucia's direction.
Yeah, I pick him. I pick the cute cuddly from Europe. How are you doing?
The homunculus does not resist your grapple attempt, and the assembled mob that isn't you guys kind of just goes back to arguing or trying to find some kind of warmth, and just, I'm fine. It is cold. It kind of like cuddles into your hair to try to stay warm, pulls a little bit over.
I do not mind this. I am enjoying the cuteness. I am trying to figure a way how to end the issue, and the conflict between the Cherish and any Serenite. This is not a natural thing. I want both parties to be happy.
Okay. Do you say this to Arendelle?
No, I'm talking to the Aaron.
Okay, so a lot of those words are a little too big, and it's kind of like it looks up, it's just, aha! But it, like, you can tell it is not understanding what you're saying, and it's just nodding.
I want to make both sides happy. I don't want violence for both sides.
Happy is good!
Will pass a message at Pogue in the middle of all this arguing, and tell him what Arendelle said.
Okay.
Yeah.
Arendelle.
No, Arendelle's the one with the pointy ears, because he's the elf.
Yeah.
Arendelle is the homunculus.
Right. So I'm sitting right there, right? Or no, you guys went somewhere else?
No, you can hear
I don't
this.
know.
All six
I
of you
didn't know
can
if
hear
you
this.
could hear it. So you know that basically that he's saying that Arendelle, the elf, is trying to get the bad people to hurt us, or whatever he said.
I thought he was saying that the bad people were trying to get Mustafa to hurt us.
Yeah, you guys knew before you left for the Darklands that in the wake of the Chelish converting to Sarenrae worship, the Cult of the Dawnflower all mass exodused away to try to to stop the suicides and the attacks and the shaking of the faith. And they've gone to the Pit of Gorbuz to fight Spawn of Rovagug.
I would go to Kazahan.
And you also know that the Chelish have contacted them and promised them amnesty if they would side with them against the rebellion.
Oh, so that's what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about Arendelle.
No.
Was trying to... Okay.
You mean Arendelle.
Arendelle. I thought Arendelle was saying Arendelle was talking to the bad people.
No.
I thought it was some conspiracy going on.
Arendelle said that the bad people were trying to get Mustafa and the Cult of the Dawnflower to come after us.
Gotcha.
Which by us, I assume he means us and the rest of the people here in the rebellion.
On a larger note, though, he may be referring to not just that, but the general, because technically Mustafa is a redeemed evil creature.
That is correct.
So his baser natures, or his more evil individuals from his past, or perhaps from now, are attempting to play on that.
Right. Like if you want to stay redeemed, then you must do evil shit.
Oh, well, something like that. We don't know. We don't technically know if the cult of the not the cult of the Dawnflower, if the Serenites in Cheliax are technically serving Sarenrae, or if they are just serving a creature pretending to be Sarenrae.
Didn't we have like a whole bunch of Serenite
Oh, they
priests
did.
or something?
That is very correct, yeah.
They had
Kazahan, do you know a way to contact Serenrae celestial servants? I would like to have a word with one of them, with you, so we can figure out what the actual truth is behind all this.
So you would definitely know, Donald, you would definitely know that the nature of the way things are going on the material plane right now leads you to believe that contacting the outer planes is going to be a lot more difficult because the fight is happening there as well. Like, Francis tried to summon elementals from the plane of fire and was incapable of doing so. You've seen an Imperial Lord look just as ragged as the men and women around you now. You know, like, you probably should have got your imp back. You have not. And everything in between.
And you can't even cast a fire spell, so. So it's interesting that even our sort of personal connections to other planes, existing ones, are in trouble as well.
Mm-hmm.
Much less trying to create a new one with unknown third parties or whatever.
Yeah, it's not necessarily like the end of the world so much more as it feels like the end of existence.
So, what is it that you want, Arendelle?
The little,
Or Arendelle. Ah, you got me again.
So
I know
fun.
what it is. You got me.
Arendelle's like, gummy bears!
that's a weird form of cannibalism. No. Well, I guess it's not. You could... Do gummy humans exist? Probably.
Gummy worms.
Well, I'm not a worm, though!
Sour Patch Kids!
Oh god,
Really
there it is.
depends
Yeah,
on
Sour
where you buy
Patch
your
Kids. Oh. Okay, so Arendelle looks up at Xander just... To be warm would be a good start, to not have to worry about whether or not Hell Knights, if is that even appropriate. Heaven Knights? No.
Heck Knights.
Heck
I
Knights.
believe the group has been calling them Heck Knights, yes.
Teleport in here and kill us all.
Why haven't they already?
He shrugs. They probably think we're cornered. Mercutio's been dead for a month. The rebellion's fallen apart. Most of the people who've come out here have returned to their homes.
What do you mean Mercutio's been dead for a month?
Did I stutter, little one?
I mean, he probably stopped breathing about a month ago.
Blood stopped pumping.
Arendelle turns towards Francis and just kind of nods his direction.
Where's the
No, he
store?
doesn't nod so much as he like. I think it's The Great Gatsby, the movie that Leonardo DiCaprio's in with where he like toasts, and it's a popular GIF that in Francis' direction.
He knows memes. Kill him.
He is not the true Arendelle.
Where is his Pepe tattoo?
Yeah, Arendelle has become my new favorite.
Yes. Look, if you think you can be helpful, be helpful. If you want to go talk to the great and mighty Mustafa, you can. If you want to help around here, you can. At this point, all kind of futile.
Is there any way to contact my cousin?
Don't know where he is.
By now, he's probably been mind blanked anyway.
Yeah, he was mind blanked in the first place.
Before Golden came to teleport us here, we were on our way through the Darklands to the dwarves to get their support.
And
We were going to go there, but Golden came and greeted us first.
and
Do you think if we get the dwarves on our side, would that give us a bit of an advantage if we can get the other rebel factions to allied with us?
worth a shot, I suppose. Assuming the Chelish haven't bought them off or enslaved them, or both.
And where are we anyway?
He moves over to the map and he points to... It's kind of like halfway between Opara and the Kadiran border. About like, I need to find a map to get you a frame of reference real quick.
Opara's in Taldor.
Correct.
Taldor's not surrounded by the thing too, by the force field.
That would track.
It is, isn't it, or it's not?
I mean, you teleported there.
But I thought that the whole Taldoran Empire was covered by it as well.
You did, didn't you?
Yes, I did think that.
It's almost as if there's new information, Van, that you weren't aware of, because you've been running around for 2 months of the Darklands.
Fighting Gugs.
Fighting Gugs.
So how come? So how come we were able to teleport here?
Because this is part of our glorious revolution.
About time. How far does the revolution spread?
I'm trying to find the name of the river, but I can't find it. I don't know why I didn't just bring up my Inner Sea World.
Which
Porthos.
Not the Porthos. It's farther south.
which part of the Inner Sea are you looking at?
The one where you are.
That part.
That was a little vague. I couldn't resist. I'll tell you. I think it's the Cellin. I'm pretty sure. I'm getting there. Hang on.
You guys are in the cellar.
You guys are in the cellar. The Inner Sea. I forget where the map is. In this gigantic book.
I don't want to be underground again.
Druid's uncomfortable.
Am I looking in the Taldor region of the map?
I'm looking. But yeah,
Alright, so
it's somewhere in the Taldor region for sure. There we go. I'm pretty sure it's the Cellin River.
Well, somebody's digging out a map. Pogue says, so what is it that stands up this force field or determines how far it extends? I mean, merely as saying, oh, we are the revolution, it doesn't mean it goes away. How does one push back this force field?
We have had people on the inside. We haven't spoken to them in months. Looks awkwardly at the party. But this is as far as we got.
Okay. But
Also, I lied. I was tracking on the map that Opara is where Casimir is. You guys are no river. It's like you're about halfway to Opara along the Inner Sea.
Mm-hmm.
But how? That doesn't answer the question. How are they moving it back and forth?
You wouldn't understand. He kind of like sardonically half smiles in Francis's direction.
I'm going to think how they would teleport like that. So would it be Arcana to figure out?
Yeah.
I'm going to aid.
Boom!
20 with a
Oh.
40.
Donald is slaying. Donald is killing. Okay, so Lucia knows. Lucia would have known before the check that it's. Imagine, if you will. It's like a really powerful magic item that generates a wall of force, except that wall of force only functions.
Pylons.
Essentially, yes.
You must construct additional pylons.
And constructing additional pylons makes the barrier go farther out. And this
We must
is
deconstruct.
this is probably why it doesn't extend into the Darklands, because it would break line of effect.
But that
So-
wasn't that hard to explain.
So they've been tearing down pylons?
That would track, yeah.
Okay,
It's
so there's not a way to create there's not a way to create a force field free island or something?
there might be with, like, if you could manipulate what creates the force field, you could certainly try to, but it's you'd be walking into uncharted territory, and mishaps would probably be bad for your health.
Mm.
So the
we could just deconstruct a pylon in the middle of like a whole bunch of other ones, then teleport into that middle area where the pylon's been destroyed.
Or,
what I'm
well, I
thinking.
mean, how do we get there?
Walk?
Underground?
So why
We
don't
can
we just
teleport
walk
under
in?
there.
Well, what if? Well, that's true too, I guess. Never mind.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Why couldn't we just teleport up to the edge of it, like Kazaha was saying earlier, and just walk in and knock some crap over?
Just hoping you find the pylon, just knock over all the things.
let's try to do.
Well, I mean, what does it look like? It's not an apartment building. It's probably like a big stick of something.
Do we have a way of
Big stick of beef jerky.
Do we
Yeah.
have a way of determining where these pylons are?
Lucia would know that they tend to be well guarded in things like in Opara, you'd be going directly into the palace in like military outposts. It'd be like in the center of a barracks, again, well guarded. Center of less of a barracks and more like a barracks in a fortress, and everything in between.
a question about these pylons. With my character knowledge, can I guesstimate what the radius is, so I can try to pinpoint where they could be on the map once we found one?
Between that and the pylons
It's
they've
possible.
captured, we should be able to tell, right?
Just give me
Yes.
part of an old pylon and let me figure out where others are.
So
Kazuha can do that as well. You can kind of extrapolate, but you know that a lot of the barriers overlap each other in such a way that they aren't as easily found.
Okay. So the plan is, let's try to find one of these pylons and then deconstruct where to find the others, and then use that to our advantage.
So we should already have pylons that have been deactivated, so we should be able to look at those and deconstruct them, right?
We can divine where the others are, possibly, given enough valuable components from an existing one that was destroyed.
That is a thing. It, again, like Lucia definitely knows that they're almost placed randomly in such a way that, again, the barrier would overlap a little bit. So it's going to be really hard to extrapolate in that way because measures have been
But the
taken.
divination spells, right?
Divination spells are a thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So even if the divination doesn't work, let's say, is it possible to have a rough guesstimate area where they may be?
Give or take. It's more of an issue of how many.
And what's it take to disable a pylon?
Breaking a magic item.
Like breaking the pylon? Or
But how
breaking
big are
something
they?
else?
Or I could just deactivate it. That is also a possibility.
Ever
Could
the
a
voice of
sneak-
reason
could-
over here.
Could somebody sneak in and deactivate it single-handedly?
It's possible. They are, to answer Francis, they're about the size of, I'm trying to, get a good frame of reference here as I look around my, half-deconstructed bedroom. About, 7 or 8 feet tall and about a foot wide. It varies. Some of them will be much bigger, some of them will be much smaller, depending on the area that they need to cover.
I wonder if they can use them, and you can only get through them if you have the right key. Do you think if we got a hold of one of the real little ones, we could carry it around with us and reconfigure it to only that, people we want through?
That is certainly possible.
Reconfigure.
It's
Or
how
the
druids
first-
say work on things.
Is that Is that druid? Druidic?
Shh, don't fucking tell anyone I said that.
And Francis falls.
I could get in a lot of trouble for using that word in front of you randos.
That means something totally different in the harems. I'm just saying. Anyway. Or maybe it doesn't. Anyway.
Druidic is just random euphemisms all garbled together. So
Yeah,
make it sound different.
I've never heard or seen a Callistrian reconfiguring. I feel like I need it for research now.
Pardon me want to know what would a Callistrian druid be like exactly?
Well, I don't mean to call out your
easy.
I don't mean to call out your stutter, but B is probably exactly correct.
A Callistrian druid would clearly be all about making things grow.
As a beekeeper, wasps are sacred. You see.
Actually, it would.
Oh, there you go. You can tell. Oh, bugger.
Good job.
You can tell Alice that's his honeymancer right there.
Yeah, I could. Alice withdrew patronage though, so I could not. It is sad. I lost $1 and then gained $270. So
Nice.
Okay, yeah. Put your dick back in your
I
pants.
can't.
All right.
So getting back onto topic about the pylons and disabling them. So
I like how we've just accepted the use of pylons.
It works. It's a very good analogy.
It's a real word.
Well, yeah, I know. I've just inserted a meme and it's occurred. Just started occurring.
Right. Reconfiguring the thingamajig is a little bit harder to say.
So let's try to find these pylons and make use of them.
Yeah.
You know, if we could in fact sort of invert one, then just think of the chaos of.
Wouldn't an inversion of one be like an antenna? Wouldn't we draw in teleports?
No.
That could be bad. That could be bad.
But right now, only certain people can teleport in using a password or something. And if
so you want to adjust the Mac settings?
I want to know if we can get it. If we can get into the filter settings and change it so only people we want to come through.
Right. We changed
when Hell Knights try to ambush us with slaves, they just cheese wire themselves.
Exactly.
Hacksaws.
I like the idea of attracting them all to a single place. That way we could have a trap set up so only our guys aren't teleporting, and as they teleport around trying to find us, they are teleported into a trap.
Or attract them with cheese wire to teleport through cheese wire.
Definitely setting some type of a lure for the Hell Knights to teleport to a zone so they can be hit by the teleporter ball is a very good tactic if we can make use of it.
I know it's a little less dignified than glorious combat, Enderling, but it would be very effective.
Yeah, we don't have the numbers on our side as we used to, so we have to use less than honorable methods to try to equal the odds at times.
I would suggest that if we can figure out how to invert the settings on one of these things, that it may be a good idea if I was the one there so that I could not be scryed on.
I'll tell you right now that if you guys get me one in my hands, I can figure out how to use it.
So, at this point, if you're scried, what are they going to see?
They will see nothing. It'll just simply fail because he's permanently mind blanked. Even before that, it tracks that they might have just seen that zombie. Because whether or not they knew it, they were scrying someone who wasn't him.
So we are in a place where there was formerly a pylon, yes?
You're in a place where formerly
we
was
are
affected by
we are with people who have captured or disabled one.
You are.
Yes, so why don't we ask them where it is so we can get Kazuha's hands on it so we can figure out how to use it.
Irindil sets it on the table. As you guys have been arguing, he's kind of been... Well, not arguing. As you guys have been deliberating, he's just kind of been sitting there, drumming his fingers on a... Like, it kind of looks like mithril, but it's a little more see-through. The shard is perhaps the size of, like, your forearm. Just kind of drums on it, and as you look up and see it, he pushes it your direction.
Well, there you go.
What are you rolling 19s for?
I'm just rolling dice.
All right.
He's drumming.
Don't ask the GM. Don't worry about that. That's a
I'm curious.
Bluff check. It's a bomb. Ha ha.
It's a bomb. Yeah. Why is this shard of crystal ticking?
Because I'm an alchemist.
Okay. And what is that?
An alchemist? It's a class you like, Kane. You should know that.
I swear to God, I'll walk to Kansas. I
don't live in Kansas!
It doesn't
We're
matter.
not in Kansas anymore.
Tommy, by the time I walk there, you will.
But Kansas City is not Kansas!
Well, I don't know where
that's
Missouri.
Oh, weird. Foreigners always screw it up. Regardless, he realizes that he's speaking to a Manavri who can use object reading to figure out how it works.
Mm-hmm. Kazaha just holds out his hand.
Okay. Do you need to make a check? You don't need to make a check. You automatically know. That's how object reading works. Okay, so you are very sure, as like it's handed over to you. Arendelle probably like jumps out from Arendelle's robes and like has to like throw it over its little shoulder. and like drag it over. It's surprisingly strong for a homunculus, and then passes it to Kazaha. Yeah, you're sure you could turn these things on or off. It's kind of like almost as simple as like getting in the shower and turning on the water. Just a simple turn of a switch. As far as doing any other shenanigans with it, it would be like, you think you could probably maybe try it, but it's at that point it's like getting in the shower and then removing the shower head and like going back behind the shower and pulling a bunch of, I know there's not wires in, if there's wires in your shower you have more money than I do, but like pulling wires out and throwing them around and stuff and then like rewiring it and soldering it all back together while the water's running and hoping the water doesn't turn to like solid acid and just melt you away. Man, that was a great analogy.
What kind of showers do you have in Kansas, Missouri?
Tommy, I'm curious. What universe do you live in that have acid showers?
Not a good one. Not a safe one. That's why I smell bad.
Maybe.
Oh, that's why.
Maybe you are in particularly you are in one of the layers of the abyss where it is a acid plane.
The elemental plane of Earth.
Well,
anyway, so
Kazaha will make sure to write down his notes. Write some notes down about how to use it, so that if he for some reason forgets when he stops reading it, he will not lose his notes.
Sure.
If there's some kind of effect like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he makes his notes and he says, while I can get this to work, I'm not convinced about the success rate of your current plan to move around the magical properties.
to figure out if I can actually move the properties around, what I will spellcraft or what would be probably a knowledge roll to
Spellcraft is fine. You can make a spellcraft check. That's cool. And here comes that third natural 20. Lucia in the clutch. Well, that's still a 42. That's real good. You're kind of... The 42 gives you...
Can I
Go ahead.
aid with the UMD?
Sure. A 32. Okay, so both Xandu and Lucia figure out what Kazaha can figure out automatically by using their own expertise. You can definitely turn one of these things on and off, and you think you could try to attempt to do so, but to do so, I mean like to change the way they work, but it's... Again, it's like getting in the shower and hoping you don't melt from moving all these wires around. It's another good way to say it, if that analogy isn't doing anything for you but confusing you, is imagine like if you're all playing rogues and you need to not disable the device, but make the device open with a different kind of key. It's that kind of thing.
You'd have to take the whole lock out and replace it then.
So who makes these things?
That's a good question.
Would I know, or which group would potentially?
Lucia could know with a knowledge. I think I want it to be history or local. I let Arcana fly too.
These Cheliax specific, or are they?
They're not.
You know,
knowledge Arcana would probably be better. So I will add the A bonus in there from Poe.
Is there?
4.
And that is Kazaha's knowledge Arcana.
Okay. Ooh, so
almost a natural.
You're killing it today, Donald. All right, so Kazaha has a basic understanding of how they work and where they've come from, and that like the empires, both of them have been able to churn them out pretty regularly. But it's Lucia that puts together that these are ancient Aslanti artifacts that were discovered on an expedition between Egorian and Arcadia. Just along the way, they decided to stop in the ruins of Aslant, not the adventure path, but you understand. And they found these things, and they brought them back, figured out how to work them. Lots of people died in the attempt. This is well before anyone's time. But over the course of several years, they were able to figure out how to mass produce these things. By they, I mean, like, the I don't want to say the Illuminati of Taldor, but it's kind of like that, like the secret mage society that secretly works for whichever emperor happens to be in charge. For Lucia, actually, you would know that as far as the Chelish are concerned, that would be the Colliginous Order, which is, it's a Hell Knight order that exists to give the Hell Knights something to be afraid of. They are the best of the best. They are the cream of the crop. They are brutal. They are merciless. They're the kind of people that might dump you in Opara and say you have 3 hours to kill the Emperor and then leave you to your own devices.
Oh, they sound like people that Lucia wouldn't mind befriending.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a one-way ticket to absolute power in Cheliax. Sometimes, most of the time, it's a one-way ticket to like you're dead in a ditch somewhere.
Tommy, so can you put the Hell Knight order in so I can put it into my notes?
Yeah. Hold up, I'll type it in. I always miss.
So the wizards in Taldor, they end up.
I'm sorry, you cut out.
So the wizards that are in Taldor that did this, are they in Opara?
It's hard to say now.
They
would have been. They would have been even in Casimir. Any of the major cities.
Would they have ever been, I don't know, horny?
No, never.
Nope. It's a side. I'm gonna roll D100. If I roll real low, it's a side effect of working with Aslanti artifacts. They're all sterile. They would not.
They totally.
I rolled an 18. I rolled an 18. They do not. Like when they debase themselves in that way.
They debase themselves with little boys. I know it. Come on. Throw Poga Bone here.
Fine.
Literally.
Fine. But just because you might be leaving us in a month.
So, would he happen to know how to get to any of them?
You would not. Not anymore.
Oh.
You might know. You might maybe know where like their favorite hangouts were. In the middle of the night when they had an itch they couldn't scratch, but at the end of the world, it's a different story.
Tommy, with me knowing this order, do I know where their hideout is or where their
even with a natural 20, absolutely not. They are the secretest of the secretive. They are the boogeymen of Cheliax. They show up at the behest of the Emperor and only the Emperor when things need to get done, and then they get done. If someone disappears in the night and they're not just like some urchin living in Igorian, if they're like imagine a minor noble commits acts that are anathema to Cheliax, which now would be fine, but it's awkward. Regardless, had they done that, for example, like imagine if a Chelish noble had let a bunch of slaves go and was trying to be on the hush-hush about it, and then somebody figured it out, it'd be the Colliginous Order that goes in the middle of the night and silences him and all of his family and all of his slaves and everything.
And nice.
Scorched earth.
And nice. Part of me actually want to join this order of or join this order of Hell Knights. If we were playing a different game.
Yeah, I assume this is something that Lucy is not saying out loud.
No, showed up that one shot.
I am not saying this out loud. This is just me as a person.
Yeah.
However, Pogue notices that she's getting moist thinking about something, so...
Yeah. This is a powerful organization. I want to know more. If I had the time, you would definitely get that feel of this is a powerful organization. I want to learn more. Sort of a intrigue look.
Yeah, it's to learn more would be to like imagine, if you will, any of the Elder Scrolls games where you learn a little too much about the Dark Brotherhood, except there's usually not the option to join them. Usually you just get killed.
So it's nothing new like the HP Lovecraft, how the characters die off knowing too much.
Yeah, pretty much. It's you might know a person or two who has joined the Colliginous Order, but to do so is to forsake your old identity and take up this mantle.
Oh.
So basically, the guy who ate the Fruit of Abaddon and came after us.
Correct. That would track.
Any of them, really.
I mean, the one who survived.
Yeah, the ones that don't survive are either they're being fed the Fruit of Abaddon to make just an army of divs to throw at people, or experimentation to see what will and won't, like what the deciding factor is.
So the fruit of Abaddon is to figure out. Would I know the fruit of Abaddon was used on this Hell Knight for X or no?
Yes, you would, because he had that same like Super Saiyan aura but purple around him that Hassan did when you guys fought Hassan.
The difference was I didn't get to ragdoll this guy like I ragdolled Hassan.
That's very true.
I think I have a theory. Who is pretending to be who is pretending to actually be Serenite in the Holish Empire? Are they guiding them? Okay. So I'm going to roll knowledge. It would be knowledge, religion, or plane. Which one do you think would be appropriate for knowing identity or hint who is guiding these Hell Knights? Knowledge, religion. I guess. You
can roll it. They're all kind of stretches.
Maybe we should look into the Emperor. Wonk.
Knowledge planes would be more appropriate.
You can. I might say history, but it's big checks.
Get a +4.
Oh no! I'm going to roll it again. I'm not pleased with that. Yes.
Okay. Just needed to confirm.
Oh no!
Rough. Okay,
when I need it.
Lucia has no idea. It's
28.
This is your comeuppance for your like 3 nat 20s.
Yep, you did.
At least they weren't nat 1.
He's just going to a nat 1. You think you know exactly who it is, and they've teleported into the room. Roll initiative. Oh, Irindil's gone. He takes off. Goodbye. Lucia has no idea.
So we thought there was some invisible person with us, right? Before?
You did.
Do we still feel that way?
Make a check. Roll to disbelieve that illusion.
Irindil is like permanent true seeing, right? He would have noticed.
He would have. That tracks.
Unless he's hiding something from us.
That also tracks. I did throw a 19 at the table.
Irindil wants us to be murdered.
Do you want me to throw my action point in to help?
What am I rolling? Perception?
You can. If you think there's an invisible person, you'd roll perception versus their stealth.
Do you want my action point to be used?
Well, let's see what I get first. 42.
Whoa!
Man, that's a big perception
check.
check.
Spicy meatball.
Spicy meatball.
Calistria is she is definitely loving you.
All right, Pogue's pretty sure that there's nobody here he can't see. It's actually kind of gone to like awkward silence at this point, and you would hear somebody moving around in the tent. The tent is
right.
The walls are thick enough that it mostly blocks out the sound of the wind.
Right.
Also, I don't think they would have teleported necessarily with us.
That's very true. It'd be very hard. Well, they could. They could have like read the mind. No, they couldn't have because they were brought out by somebody who wasn't gunneled. So they could have, but that's a huge stretch. But you get the feeling they probably weren't there at the time either. So much as like when Xandu got his power, they also disappeared. And Xandu and Lucia and Francis, they saw the Hell Knight teleport away, and it was probably that he was teleported at the hands of his invisible wizard who's there to back him up.
Okay, fair enough. So just to go back for a second, is it possible to reconfigure those pylons?
Yes, but it won't be easy.
That's fine. That's still a potentially very powerful option for us.
It is indeed.
So we just need to figure out how to do it or find somebody who does that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We either have to like figure out how to make one, how to change one, or how to like get one that hasn't been.
Oh, for the
win! Has been drawing blueprints for one of these pylons the entire time.
Okay.
He Hazahala and him were probably.
I do actually have.
like giving it to him and stuff.
Man, yellow roll.
Enderling does actually have craft magic items, and he does have the feat to do so.
Okay, yeah, Enderling thinks he can probably just recreate one of these. It's gonna take its time. It's still crafting a magic item, but he essentially crits and gets the recipe.
Sweet.
We are so good at being adventurers!
Second level loot drop.
I know the secret recipe to your mother's chocolate cookies.
And they also help with teleportation.
Yes.
I can aid in making this item.
No, you can't because you didn't crit. This is very lost as Lanti knowledge that Enderling has somehow been graced with. Well, his circumstances are also strange, so it tracks. The first world.
Well, I mean, we also need.
It's Enderling this time.
Connection to the first world.
Enderling is the agent of fate.
Oh, crap.
Right.
So it's mechanically they cost what's fair.
They cost what's fair.
Yeah, you got to pay a fair price. You got to talk to Abadar. That's where they came from.
How about a belt of giant strength?
Well, I was gonna say, how much would it cost to permanency a circle against teleportation?
That's a good question. Is that something that can normally be?
I don't think.
That spell can definitely normally be.
Okay, let's take a look then.
What is the cost of it? I think circle spells. I have like a third or fourth wizard spell, I believe. So.
Yeah, I'm looking. Hang on, I'm looking.
Hey, speaking of, is there anybody who can permanency versatile weapon on my weapons?
As long as you have the resources using the other items as a form of currency, I can do it. Do it for you.
Don't we have like a bag of belts of giant strength?
Oof.
Right?
You do. You have several.
Yeah, we've got like 20 of them or something.
But no one wants to buy them.
That's why I said,
wants
like,
to be strong.
You said Lucia could liquidate them.
Yeah, you can. Lucia can 1-for-1 liquidate something using like its crafting cost to go into the crafting cost of something else. Doing so will increase the craft DC by 10.
Okay.
Per each item used.
Teleport trap can be made permanent for 7,000 gold.
Yeah, that's teleport trap seems to be
can be used on all teleport traps that are linked, that share a linked destination. But the gold price must be paid for each individual spell.
Okay,
so seven grand per pylon.
And a pylon cuts how far? 1 40-foot cube per level. That's not enough. We need a little more than that.
Yeah.
What is the cost of the amulets?
Don't worry about that right now. We're worrying about store stuff.
What kinds of giant
140
were they?
Or 140-yard cube.
+6.
They're +6. Okay, so that's the cost for the crafting cost is 18,000 gold pieces.
So I feel like one of these will cover, because Galarion's a big place. We'll say it covers 50 miles per level, and the price is that's a big price jump. It's actually just 7,000 gold. As Lanti technology was great. That actually kind of tracks.
Cheap, efficient, and powerful.
Because it was, compared to the current level of magic and stuff. I'll say the cost is tripled. That's a very generous discount.
Just 21,000.
Yeah. For 50 miles per caster level.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just throw a couple belts at that bitch, and we're done.
So it would take Enderling 21 days.
Hey, if the Resistance is willing to wait for something like that, they would keep Hell Knights from teleporting in. I think that would be worth it.
It tracks that the reason the Hell Knights aren't teleporting in is because it seems like the rebellion is pretty much over. But that's not to say that they're not going to show up and try to get Lucia.
If it's almost over, then why would they have bothered teleporting to us?
Probably to get Lucia.
Lucia's worth a lot of money.
So Lucia's
on top of other things
is here now, so they could still come and get us.
That's very true.
And
so we should make it.
Yes, we should.
So but you get the feeling you don't have 21 days.
So if if me and Enderling divide the time to
Then you get attacked
make it,
because you don't have time. Let me stress that. There's no way
So
to cut
what
the
if
time
what if Enderling just gave the information to? Ooh, that might be a bad idea because I don't know if he's really on our side. Never mind.
Fair.
is there any people in camp that are magic item makers that can potentially make this for us that we trust?
Certainly Irondale, but you don't know. It's you guys
Don't know
kind
if
of
we
just
trust
walk to a pavilion. You don't even really know the state of the rebellion, other than it's kind of ground to a halt because massive snowstorm, and they've taken a little bit of land in Taldor, and then things happened. And
I'm not sure what reason we have to not trust Arundel.
Yeah,
I
he's
mean,
sketch,
he
but
did
he's not.
basically try to at least put Emmy's life in danger to get away, at
Save
least apparently for
everyone
himself.
else.
He did blatantly say, "Oh, so you didn't kill everyone else," meaning
Well, I mean,
that
he
he
was
was
just
expecting
kind of full of hot
Yeah.
air.
maybe.
That I think it was just him releasing his hot air upon us. He
He's
also
actually
did
a
watch
dragon.
Emmy for the longest time.
Do you trust trust him enough to make this for us?
If he wanted to break us, he could have killed Emmy and ergo killed Zandu, taking away one of our resources.
Yeah, one of our really powerful resources, story-wise.
Yeah, but we don't know how long term he's going to be on our side. But Zandu is not saying this out loud. This is just me, the player, thinking.
Mhm.
If Enderling
this is just
wants to
us,
go
the
ahead and
players.
share this with him, he can go ahead.
Oh no, Enderling's probably just sitting in the corner with his hands across his stomach,
All three of them.
waiting.
Yeah,
All three.
All three of them.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, how many people would attack us?
Talking about how to do it.
I mean, are they going to send an army to collect Lucia?
It's possible.
Probably.
I mean, my bounty technically, unless the price went up, is 10 million gold.
Also, you got to realize that money doesn't matter anymore because the world is ending. You can't take it with
Yeah,
you.
this isn't like we like save up your gold items for the apocalypse. The apocalypse is now and it's useless.
Apocalypse now.
So if they're trying to
Yay.
find Lucia, it's for reasons other than money.
I
Maybe
mean,
Rat got impatient.
maybe they take Lucia and don't kill the rest of us?
Hey, you never know. Everyone just
And they'll
back
take
away.
Yarva too.
Oh no.
Yarva didn't get teleported with you, but actually, you know what? Yarva's gone. Yarva's not here right now. In all the
Yarva's not home
hullabaloo,
right now.
in all the hullabaloo, Yarva's disappeared.
Message after the beep.
Vomit falls out.
I thought everybody was teleported to the.
They
to
were,
the camp.
but ghost NPCs are not everyone.
What about the corpse that Yarva?
Ghost NPC
I thought
possessed his
Yarva.
body.
I
Possessed
thought
his body.
Yarva.
Possessed his
Why-
body.
Possessed the body. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's not here right now because he's not a member of the party. He's just here to troll you.
Yeah.
Why would the half
Yeah,
giant
let's not worry about the fact that he's not here. Who cares about him? Come on.
Boom.
He's good. He's got.
All right. So what are we doing?
He'll wander over here someday.
So we could
But
make this,
right
except
now-
we don't have the time.
Do we trust? Trust the alchemist to make the item for us?
I don't think we're in any sort of position to be that kind of picky. Not even like a little bit.
We are in a dire situation. This is probably going to bite us in the derriere potentially, but I think we should trust him to make the item for us, and we go to the other pylons to make use of them if we can find them with the 10 days we have.
Oh, it's much more than 10 days. 21,000
Does
gold.
does my understanding of these things indicate to me that they can be remotely activated via command word or something?
No, it's like you have to physically touch the thing.
Okay, because it would be bad if we took them and tried to use them, and then they were just like, nope, and they said the magic word and they were off.
That would indeed be
Well,
bad.
I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to just like stick a Raspberry Pi on one of these dudes and
Just turn off the Bluetooth. We'll be fine.
yeah, write a little code and be like, no command word. No, thank you, sir.
So
This whole time,
think-
as you guys are having this conversation, Iridel's just kind of watching.
ahead.
you. Most of the generals most of the people of any kind of power that are left have just kind of wandered out of the tent back to their loved ones, you imagine.
Their AI has tested them on something new.
Pretty much.
There's a stone that needs to be mined.
So where do we go if not here? If we're moving, we're still going to be attacked on the road.
Very true. Unless you choose to
No.
go through the Darklands.
Unless, yeah.
If we're going to going into Teldar where the pylons are, the safest way is to go through the Darklands and then teleport to the surface.
And then you
With
die.
You said
Would,
we can't teleport from the Darklands up to the surface. We can't go straight up. There's a
Yeah.
floor to this.
Yeah,
It's not like a bowl.
we can
It's
get-
like a... It's
Like
not
an
a
orange that's
dome,
been cut
it's
in
more
half.
like
It's like
it's
a
more
bundt
like
cake.
a grapefruit slice.
Hufflepuff
Right.
has spent a good portion of his life wandering the Darklands, so he could probably pick out a place that's pretty close, an exit that's pretty close to where we want to go up.
He certainly
And we
could.
can teleport to that place with his knowledge.
Well, I mean, you said that too right before Gugfest 2018.
I got you where you wanted to
And
go.
you've started a
we got
recurring
close to where you
annual
wanted to be.
season.
We
And
could
then-
use
There better be
And then
Gugs in the
ended up-
playtest. We need them.
And then we ended up in a haunt.
You did. I really like haunts.
yeah, we could use
You just
Kazahan.
said you wanted the closest exit up. I fulfilled what you wanted.
Okay.
We could use Kazahan knowledge for the closest exit to the to Dart or to find one of these pylons. Would that be
does
it?
it track that
we're
dwarves
in
would be able to
Talbot.
like mass produce these things if we showed them how to make it?
Yeah, you would think so, but like, what they do with that knowledge is an entirely different story. It's an independent faction that you'd be showing up and, hey, here's this stuff that you've probably wanted for a long time. Please do
If we
good
show
with
that
it.
If we show that to who?
The dwarves.
The dwarves.
No. Yeah.
If you guys were to head into the Five Kings Mountains.
Well, if we
It is an independent faction, but we need allies, and perhaps we could use that as a bargaining chip.
True.
Right. And the other thing is that if you give them the ability to defend themselves from the Heck Knights teleporting in, then they would have more resources available to fight back.
That is very true.
Yeah.
True.
The same is true for the Cult of the Dawnflower. They've been brooding in Casmaron. And if they were to come back, that does definitely... That's not all of the rebellion, but it was a sizable piece of it.
Yeah.
Because it mostly started in Qadira.
So do we want to
I thought they were all underground fighting Gug, or not Gugs, fighting Rovagug.
They are.
Rovagugs.
But they're doing that to, like... They're waiting for their goddess to give them a sign of what even is going on. Because they're definitely, like...
Well,
there have been
that's a
people in
option.
Cheliax who have performed miracles. Miracles,
So-
in air quotes.
So if we go through
If I
the
remember right,
Darklands,
Xander can send a message, right?
Xandu can?
Send
Xander
a
can
message.
send psychically across great distances, right?
I don't
send the
think
wasp.
so.
We can send the wasp.
We can send the wasp.
The Wasp exists.
But he doesn't fly at like subsonic speed.
That he
does
can
I'm talking
teleport.
About,
Well,
okay.
Teleporty wasp.
he flies at subsonic speeds, yes.
Then we could
Well,
send
so
the
does
wasp with him. We could always send the wasp with a message to Mustafa to tell him that we
To go
will be
fast,
in
we want
Qadira.
to go fast. We want him to fly at supersonic speeds.
Yeah.
Or maybe even super photonic.
Supersonic speeds.
Gotta go faster, faster, faster. Oh, what? What?
No,
Yeah,
not
teleport.
not sonic. Super photonic.
to like
Warp
the speed of
speed.
light.
Faster than light.
Warp 5!
We have an Alcubierre wasp.
Engage.
And should we name the wasp Warp?
You should name it Alcubierre.
Warp the Wasp. Okay.
No, we should name the wasp Scotty.
That sounds good.
He beamed himself everywhere.
There you go.
Jordy.
Yep. Scotty.
Strictly better warp engineer, Jordy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting back on topic, so
Donald doesn't like Star Trek. We've learned that about Donald.
As much as I do enjoy the show, I'm trying to get back on topic here.
I don't like Star Trek. I was just letting you have your moment.
Bah!
Okay.
Shut up, Kane.
So the Wasp.
Shut up, Joe.
Get out of here.
Mustafa.
You
We send
Patak.
the Wasp. Hey, we send the Wasp to Mustafa. What's the message?
That we have found a way into Kadira. Into the heart of the enemy.
You mean Opara, not Kadir. We are in Kadir.
We found a way to kill ourselves.
We found a way back to where we are.
We're here to burn your homes.
We're here to burn your home.
For a good reason, though. Don't worry.
Oh man, I remember that.
That was a good one.
A good episode that was.
I still think we should tell Irondil how to
Burn
make
your
these
homes.
things.
Okay.
Because, like, the more people who we can sort of combat their anti-teleport rigs with our own, the more bastions we can set up where people can, like I think Van said earlier, can defend themselves from heck shooting darn knights.
Yeah.
So if
Okay.
we give the elf alchemist the resources to make this, then we can go to the dwarves through the Darkland, befriend them, help them become our ally, teach them how to make this. Is this a plan everyone agree
Just
on?
convert all of our manpower to pylon making.
Hey man,
Lock.
it worked for the
Taldor out.
Russians.
I am thinking of the many hours of playing StarCraft, making roll upon roll of the pylons. We need to make more pylons.
Must
Insert
construct additional
points.
pylons.
I
It's
don't
not
like
a bad plan.
StarCraft either.
I didn't really like StarCraft myself.
All right, kids.
So what is the agreed course of action, everybody?
Man, this is Lord of the
Make
Cavalry. There's
allies.
never an agreed course of action. One of you just
Yeah,
gets
I
a little
think
more
that's a
assertive.
good idea. I think we should teach people to make pylons.
Okay.
People we
Yeah.
trust.
It's a good bargain.
Okay.
And then
Andrew's like a weird Jesuit priest now,
right? Yeah, you are.
traveling around. I will
Teach you
tell
about
you
the
how
Church
to
of
have sex.
Pylons.
Teach us your god science.
Are we gonna teach these fools first, and we're gonna go teach the Dawi?
I vote fools because we're here already.
Fair.
Okay.
Teach Irondale, and then while he is busy doing that, we go to the dwarves to teach them.
Sure.
Yep,
sure.
that is
All
what I
right.
said.
So that will require a spellcraft check just from Annerling. Because Annerling is the only one who's fathomed it. And I'll make a... We're going to do opposed skill checks again. Okay, yeah, Annerling... I feel like you rolled pretty well. You rolled a 13. Okay. The process takes a couple of hours. So if anybody else has anything they want to do, they're welcome to do so. But Irondil and Ennerling they start like a dialogue, which is really hard to do because Irondil doesn't have a very high opinion of Ennerling, which Xandu and I think Kazaha had figured out when there was a lobotomy. But Irondil does figure it out. Lucia uses that time to write more spells down.
Irondil probably thinks that he figured it out himself.
Yeah, that tracks.
All right, can we get somebody to put the permanency spell on?
He's probably like guessing the entire time. It's like, oh yeah, you should put that in there. Like, no, you don't put anything inside of anything, dude. It's just one single piece. You just gotta.
The permanency, that is like 7,000. So using the amulet, would that cover the cost for the permanency?
It would
effect?
use the cost if you want them. No, it would not, because this is for crafting items, not for the casting of permanency. The casting of permanency will require actual gold.
You got actual gold.
I do. I'm the GM.
Not you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Finpoke and Lucia.
Yeah, I thought we could use the items as a form of currency.
You can
but
use
no.
the item as a form of currency for the purpose of crafting magical items. On a 1-to-1 basis, doing so increases the craft DC by 10. Which has nothing to do with the casting of permanency.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but you're not crafting, Donald. You're casting a spell.
Yeah, which has its own material cost.
It's
So if we were to craft a magical item, wouldn't part of it be to cast permanency on it?
No, that's an entirely different. It's like if you want to make a car, wouldn't that also be the stereo? This is my analogies are bad today. I need to stop.
You want to make a
music
stereo
into it. You want to make a stereo, you gotta sing
If you want to
into
make
it.
a hover car,
Nevertheless,
off the
it's
ground,
an
show it
entirely
how to
different
fly.
thing. You need to spend that 7,000 gold, and then you have it. But yes, there's someone who can do it.
You just need the dash.
You just need the dash.
I've only got 5,000 dash.
All right.
Need those dull hairs.
Yeah, I'll lend you $2,000.
I have no money.
Yeah, I have a bunch of weapons. It's only so I can use swashbuckler stuff on it. So
Yeah, you're better at stabbing dudes than I am, anyways. I'll lend you $2,000.
take some dash.
Yeah, he set aside $2,000 for stabbing dudes, but he doesn't need. It's
I-
like,
So
It's my rainy day stab.
this is my
I-
this is my stabbing fund.
I have 1,000 gold on me. So do you need that?
So what
He
do
does
we
not because Francis
Little.
is giving him 2,000 gold.
got? Okay.
Is what I
Yeah,
understand. of it.
that's about half of what I'm carrying on me in raw currency.
Dang.
It's little gold nuggets.
I mean, I feel
For a
like
druid,
that's probably how a
pockets
druid
get quite
would carry raw currencies, just in like
Just nuggets.
unprocessed lumps of gold.
Makes sense to me.
Just why have you given me dust? Oh, there's gold in this dust. We got a pan for it. The gift of the druid.
Yeah, just
Gonna work for
raw,
your money.
unprocessed gold and gems. That's how he keeps all of his currency.
It takes you to a river. You gotta sift for
I'll
it.
pay you when we go to the river. What, you gonna drown me? No. Take this hat thing.
Oh no, not unless you fall
Ridged.
in.
Van, so how much gold do you have in total now for the permanency?
He has all 7,000 of it, and it's been paid for about 5 minutes.
Okay.
We started a GoFundMe.
Yeah, you said you had 5, and I gave you 2, so that's all of it.
5 plus 2 does in fact make 7. We did it.
Okay.
And
Math.
times 1,000.
Haha. Okay, so what if it only
Pope
costs
got a
7 gold?
Patreon.
He did it, and it immediately panned out for him at the end of the world.
Yep, there you go.
That's what I need to do. Just cause the end of the world. Everyone will give me their money.
I'm your biggest fan.
I know. I love you, buddy.
I was still talking to Van.
Oh, okay.
Remember the fan clan?
It was not even intentional. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. I'm obviously making a joke.
All right.
You guys can't see my
Oh,
shame
you're
because
so
I'm in Missouri.
sorry, eh? I mean,
Yeah, you can't see the single tear.
You can't. All right.
You're
So
tattooed
what? The
too.
next move is what? You wish
So,
to head down into the
we-
Darklands and make your way towards the Five Kings Mountains.
Correct. Unless
Yeah,
if anyone
teleport as
objects to
close to
this.
there as we can get.
Okay. So the closest destination, because it's Xandu and Lucia that are casting. So and possibly her dragon. The closest destination would be Corgan Beer. What remains of it? Actually, the closest destination would be the ancient dwarven city, and or under that.
Is there a barrier that we have over that area?
Yes,
I'm
don't
trying
teleport.
to
Don't
pick-
teleport on top of the ground. Teleport under the ground.
Go inside, not above.
Correct. Otherwise, you'll die. If you guys want to TPK that badly, it's there, I guess.
Where are we again?
Let
Teach them and die.
let teleport closest tunnel underground and then teleport again.
Okay. So that's the casting of 2 teleports that would be entirely unnecessary. You can do it in 1.
So
I'm not trying to bait a TPK. Let me be clear.
So who wants to teleport close to the underground tunnel?
We can only teleport once because the second teleport would kill us.
Not the case. Hang on.
I thought that's what you just said.
What I mean is you can teleport. You don't have to go from where you are to the Darklands to, when I say the Dwarf City, I mean like where the Haunt and the fancy hover cars are. That's what I mean. You can teleport from where you are now to there with no fear of reprisal. You don't need to go down then over.
Good to know.
He just really wants us to go back to that haunt.
That's the closest place. Blightburn's fun.
I think Kadahan want to be with the hover car.
Can we just teleport
no objections.
I mean, why don't we just teleport to underneath the haunt where the giant pillar was?
You can do that as well.
But we want to see the car.
What about Splorpy?
The magic.
Oh, what about Splorpy? Yeah, we need to make sure.
Yeah, we gotta
okay.
go back for my Splorpy boy and that big shield that's immune to radiation.
Get Splorpy boy, and then we can drive around on the surface in our lead shield.
Sounds like some weird zombie apocalypse vehicle.
Yeah, it sounds like an Archimedes tank. I'm into it.
Yeah, I love Castle. What is it? Castle Punk. That's what it's called. I guess it'd be Ren Punk. Meh. I say we go to Splorpy. Because Splorpy can haul butt, and we'll have a weatherproof, scry-proof domicile to drive around in.
You're really working on that one, aren't you? The domicile?
On the alliteration.
Yeah.
I definitely thought Joe said he was illiterate. That's what I heard.
I'm illiterate.
I'm illiterate.
I am illiterate.
So good
and
at
I
the
have a
words
degree and a
and the
half.
letters.
I'm alliterated.
Okay, so who's casting?
I'm going to be using one of my dragon teleports.
Sure. So there's
How many people need to cast?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now there's 10 of you, counting the Abercorn Viper. The Abercorn Viper is huge. Excuse me. There's 12 of you. So that requires for every 3 caster levels you get another one. So 3, 6, 9. So it would take everyone who can cast it once.
Okay, so that use all of my slots up, and then my dragon has 3 slots. And then what about Zandu? How many slots would you be using up?
I think each of us would only need to use 1 slot.
That is correct.
Because each person uses once.
To take 4, and in size categories, there's 12 of you. Because we'd worked it out that you can do like a big mass group teleport thing.
A group report.
A group report.
Telegroup.
That too.
Telegram? Slack? Discord?
Teddygram?
Just roll the percentage dice.
Golden Grams?
Okay.
Arendelle pops out and says, "Hi!"
Guess he's coming too.
Nope, no he's not.
Oh,
Kill him.
Ooh.
Yep, we'll take the homunculus and leave it out.
That is for everyone?
You need to roll it, your dragon needs to roll it. Colin has rolled a 2 secretly, and you need to land low, not high, so that's wonderful.
Yep.
The dragon may be off target. Let me double check.
I think he's right outside of it.
He's right there, yeah. I'm just not sure which side of the line he's on. You guys are... You're probably at viewed once. You've been there.
I think we're on target.
Yeah, all of us been to the pillar.
Are we teleporting to the pillar where you guys
We're
slept?
teleporting to Splorpy.
So you guys are teleporting into the city.
Yeah. Yes. So everyone have seen the ooze. So
You can't specifically teleport to the ooze without scrying him.
Teleport to a location, not a creature.
Yeah, Jesus. So what you're doing is you're teleporting to the dwarf city, underground, and you've landed at. I'm gonna call it seen casually, in which case, we needed a 1 to 88. Okay, so you just barely arrive on target. There's a little... The sentient dragon looks a little... The sentient undead dragon, I should be clear, looks a little unnerved. You don't know why, but you guys do arrive back in the halls of Svartalheim.
They said hogs.
In the Hogs of Svartalheim.
Hogs of Svartalheim.
Oh, you do?
Oh no! I thought you said we couldn't teleport to creatures.
A big summer dog.
Just tears a hog in half.
Delicious.
So on the map, so how far are we away from the five mountains now?
You are... It's awkward because you'd be going underground. It's a little harder. You're basically like right under the Verduran forest. If you were to go back, you could easily go back to that tunnel and then make your way and then dump out into the Verduran forest. You would need to move east from here, going through passages you haven't seen. So it's really hard to say.
Well, maybe we don't have to stay underground.
Traveling through the Verduran forest would make it... Oh... It's, depending on where you dump out, like, about 300-400 miles. Which isn't a whole lot if you take the sports car. But that's entirely... Yeah, it's about 400 miles. Splorpy is nowhere to be seen.
No!
You guys arrive
Oh.
in the middle of the city.
Oh.
That's not necessarily like, oh, he's dead. So much as just, oh, where is he? You don't know.
Yeah. Just because we can't find him doesn't mean he's dead.
Just walk outside. Where's my cat?
I just missed him. I just missed him, and Francis is upset, and so he cries out.
I do not immediately see evidence of my cat, ergo she must be dead.
Tommy, Tommy, this
It's
is
Schrodinger's ooze.
Tommy, this is the Tommy. This is the most important question of all. Is the hover car where we parked it last?
You don't know. You're not there. You are just kind of randomly in the middle of the city.
So, really, the most important question is, where did we park?
Dude, where's my hover car?
Dude,
I think
The lock button twice,
Set
it should
the
hover.
car at the
Set the alarm
garage.
off. Set the alarm off with the remote.
Yeah, do you have a key fob?
Where's the magical fobby deal?
Hold it up to your head.
Fabio?
Hold it up
Just
to your
lock
head
it
and
3
we'll
times
extend
and it
the
should
range.
honk.
Just put your head
I
on
don't
the...
times and
how to
honk.
work it. Thank you. I am not incompetent. Thank you. If there was
Most-
such a thing,
The
Cosmo
most
would have taken it.
defensive paladin I've ever met.
Well, you're talking about his hover car, man. He takes that seriously.
Insecure
Please,
paladin.
mate.
It's his magic steed.
Do Manaveries just
That's
generally
right.
want
That
big
is my
cars?
mount. If Hazaha could power that thing, I would take it as mount. And be like, that's go to Paladin again, get a bond to mount, and be in a hover car.
You like shove pine cones at the edge or
Awesome.
something like a little kid with one of those Barbie cars.
Banana in the tailpipe.
This is how I fuel this because I am 5.
It's actually, yeah, I mean, it turns out he's actually been loading crap into a Mr. Fusion this whole time.
Yeah. Cramming cookies in the VCR.
Kind of confusing when you go and look at it, I suppose.
I am also sorry.
I'm
For the 3
curious
cookies I
if
shoved in the VCR.
I'm curious. Have the Kazahan give the car a name yet? Every single car deserves a name.
First, you gotta find that
He
car.
has, but he hasn't told anybody.
Lucille.
Oh god.
Randy's back.
I'm good with Lucy.
No,
It's a good BB King reference. What?
he's got a name for it.
Are we,
I'm not telling
are we
you.
looking for the car? What are we doing?
Oh, no, I have an idea what the name for it is, Adam. I just hate you.
Haha.
You're awful, is what you are.
Oof.
All right. What's the 38 for?
My little hover car.
The 38 was to determine
The
if there were
38
any...
was a long time ago.
To determine if there are any hover cars in your general location, there are not.
No.
We all need a hover car.
You guys
You need
do.
batteries too.
Or we need a hover van so it can be like the 18.
No, that we need 5 hover cars that combine into a Voltron.
Yes.
Yes.
No, this is
That is how we combat Fimbulwinter in the form of a giant monster.
In the form of a thing with heating.
We just turn the heater on.
Hovertron.
Kane, this is what everyone needs. We need to find hover bikes, have jackets for the hover gang we are going to make, and then make the hover gang be known as the best group of hover bike gang heroes to save the world. It is a perfect
That's the name of the gang.
The hover bike gang to save the world.
Heroes.
That's very
We'll
punk.
terrorize an empty city until we're all killed by giants, is what you're saying.
I mean, I don't know. I kind of like the idea of the hover cars all morphing together. It would be like Power Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, or Voltron, or
Voltron.
Kamen Rider.
Yeah, or a lot of giant morphy car robot things.
Any number of live-action Saturday morning children's show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's around this time the haunt manifests. Would everyone make a fort save?
That's what happens when we sit around and goof off too much.
I do not make a fort save.
You do not. You're immune. Kazaha passes with flying colors.
We make the DM is bored.
Pogue
Save.
fails.
Enderling passes with flying colors.
Lucia fails.
Oh no. Lucy's gonna take a bunch of ability drain.
Hey, did you say I pass?
No, I said you
No.
failed.
No.
So what do we?
I'm waiting to see if anybody wants to bail you out with their hero points.
Also, okay, never mind.
We are getting close to the end of the night. I suppose I'll bail her out.
Okay, Lucia may reroll.
Oh, it's 9:30.
With flying colors. But what about Pogue,
Yeah.
though?
Okay, fine.
21 didn't make it.
21 did not make it.
Do you
No,
need
26.
do you need the action point?
One. Kazaha can give Pogue one. He would give Pogue one. He wouldn't give Lucia one.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Alrighty.
Go ahead.
Make that
You
reroll.
Enderling will retain his... I guess not. Enderling will use a hero point.
Alright, I'll let that fly. It was sweet. There, now he's passed. He did it. He just needed a 22.
Is that all I needed?
He did
Someone should have just tossed you
Use my action point. Gee.
Oh, what? Oh, what was I supposed to? It was an action point?
it. No, it was hero points.
No, it was a hero
Well, it was a
point.
hero point.
Now what do you do about the
I
haunt?
just thought he was way too low.
Oh.
I thought a 6 wouldn't save him.
Nah, no, nobody else roll only ones before we're done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's all the hero points. What do you guys do about the haunt, though? It continues encroaching upon you.
We got spells for that.
You do?
You touch the ground with my
I
lamp.
mean, do they ever?
I haven't
Do
purged
they ever
that
attack
spirit.
us when we're here?
They don't attack you, they just irradiate you. So Francis could just hang
Yeah.
out and be fine.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to put
What
somebody
a
in the
ching.
bag again.
Purge spirit it. For
Alrighty.
35.
Okay. I get a will save, I think. The haunt goes away. The haunt explodes. You get the feeling the haunt won't be back for a while. Zandu, like, he gets a little bit of... Actually, hang on, it's relevant. I need to make a check. Because Emmy is also exposed.
Oh, yes.
Oh.
I forget she's there. The Viper is immune.
Sandy dies.
Okay, so what happens is
What does she add?
Emmy looks real, like, well, no, it doesn't instantly set in, but it dawns on Zandu that, like, she's in danger, and he just kind of waves his hand and the haunt ceases to exist.
You can remove blight burn with cure
Disease.
poison, cure disease.
Well, I suggest we get out of here and fast.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can fix
I
her.
think-
She'll be fine.
we should have did that earlier. We should have gotten out of here quickly earlier. So let's start doing that. Quickly, we will make our way towards
Towards
our
Slurpee.
Slurpee. Yeah, let's go. Well, Where would Sid Splurpy be?
The last time you saw Splurpy was, well, you'd left him at the exit into the Verduran Forest, powering his giant mech.
Yeah.
This is not where I thought the campaign would go, but it's cool.
That's why Francis is just calling. It'll either draw attention or...
No, Francis is Kane, Xandu is Colin. I thought it was funny.
What?
I said that Kane said that's why Francis is just Colin, and I said well, Francis is Kane, Xandu is Colin.
Don't make fun of my ex.
Okay, Enderling starts shouting. Nothing really happens. It echoes across the halls of Svartalheim. Also, it's not cold down here. You guys definitely are aware that you can like take off the blankets that you've been huddled in, and you're fine.
Oh yeah. I don't think he's here.
Thanks, Randy.
Dang it! I don't think he's here.
Dang it, Bobby.
Randy appears, and he realizes he is woefully underleveled for this.
Yeah.
Oh no!
No, it's not the levels, it's the rolls. We don't mind Randy coming, we just don't want his rolls.
Oh, diggity dag, damn it!
He is cursed.
I got cancer now.
It's the most Squidbillies thing I've ever heard you say.
So,
I got the cancer now.
So, are we going through the tunnels down the spirals where the Gugfest happens?
You can. Either one will take you about a day's travel.
Why don't we go try to find the Schwarps? Schwarps, let's go.
Yeah, a daring do bonus. He's
daring do.
Did he try to intimidate Splurty out of hiding?
Spinning do.
Why are you rolling just a bunch of daring do's? I don't know. Oh, you're just in the
Macro.
Holy macro.
Macro.
I don't know why we're all just shouting macro.
You think Splurpy's probably just faithfully sitting at the end of the tunnel we made?
So I see that you've got exploding dice on your macro. That doesn't. Yeah. No explosion.
You get exploding dice with daring do.
What? No, you don't. You're full of it. Do you really?
You do.
I only just swashbuckled a parry.
Daring do, at least at first level, Swashbuckler can spend 1 panache point when she makes an acrobat, climb, escape artist, fly, ride, or swim check to roll 1d6 and add the result. If the result of the d6 roll is a natural 6, she rolls another 1d6 and adds it to the check.
Oh man, that's sweet. I didn't know you could do that. That is so cool.
Man, it's almost like that class does other things than parry and riposte.
No.
Especially if you take the Mouser subclass.
That's fair, yeah. Okay.
Spread Blade is better. Duelist is even better. Because it actually does what it's supposed to.
What we thought it was supposed to before we realized we were so wrong.
Yeah, you can parry and riposte. I just, I like the idea of getting up in somebody's grill and teaching them a lesson.
That's fair, no. Okay, so are we heading down into the Darklands or up towards the Verduran Forest?
I am thinking for our...
Wait, hold up, forest?
Wait, so do we want to go to the forest?
That was the last place you saw Splurpy, I should say.
Yeah, that's where
we can get a Splurpy. Now we can just travel in style in our lead blanket, feeling all safe. Down here, we're gonna have to deal with Gugs, disease. Up top, we're just gonna have to deal with a little chill, and the possibility of someone spotting by eye our freaking Megatron.
You know what? I'm okay with someone spotting our Megatron, because if someone's like, "Oh, look, giant robot monster," I should go over.
However, at the surface,
that's definitely gonna have Lucy in it. Let's go get it.
Say what?
At the surface, we're still vulnerable to Hell Knight attacks.
Not under our lead blanket, remember? We have that lead dome up there that we shaped.
And the Heck
we have
Knights
to be underneath it.
Yeah, the Heck Knights might not be as fearsome once if we have the whole party together.
And we'll have that lead blanket we can hide in. Remember how scrying doesn't go through lead?
Yes, yes.
And we'll have a giant viper.
We can use the Viper to heave that lead blanket along, and we can hide inside that lead blanket to protect ourselves from the cold.
Let's go.
That's what we were doing. That's what we were doing before.
Well, let's go and do that then. Let's go.
I will cast a spell on my dragon to reduce the size from large to size.
What spell is that?
Size
huge to large.
It would be shrink object.
Sure. All right, it's done.
The dragon is technically the object. It's not a living creature.
All right, well, let's go.
Yeah, so it takes
for you. If you're gonna objectify your thing, whatever.
It takes a day. Let's see what happens. Anything bad happen? 16. Okay. So a day passes. You guys camp. You guys rest. Get your spells back. With no reprisal, the haunt does not reappear. You get the feeling that Xander's kind of blown it into oblivion. Actually, can I get everyone to make a will save? Not Xander, though. Xander's fine.
What
do you even remember the haunt
for?
It's kind of a mind-affecting effect. Yeah.
I am immune.
Okay.
Is it a fear?
It's not a fear effect. Definitely just mind-affecting. Mind-affecting is kind of a stretch. But... Okay, so... Everybody does fail. Francis and Xander remember that this place is haunted, but no one else does. As far as everyone else is concerned, the memory... Or not the memory, but like the notion that this place is haunted at all has been just scoured from existence, and why would that even be a thing? It's just an abandoned ruin and stuff like that. As if it never was.
Even with a 30?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
But however, in the morning when you guys wake up and you begin making your way back to the tunnels, you find Splorpy's mech. Splorpy's remains are puddled at the bottom. The lead blanket has been ripped apart into teeny tiny little pieces, so too has most of the neck.
Francis begins to weep openly.
See, this is why I said when we teleported, we should have just taken Splorpy with using Francis's hand to touch Splorpy.
Yeah, and really will comfort Francis.
Aww.
Yeah.
He was so squishy.
I would comfort him as well.
What about the things inside Splorpy?
The things inside had been almost all taken except for the headband of vast intelligence +6 and the winged sandals.
There you go, someone who needs a brain.
Sandals. Can I have the sandals?
You have celestial armor.
Well, you know.
You also might be leaving soon. Don't hoard all the gear.
That's true.
What do the sandals do?
They allow you to fly sometimes. I'll look it up.
A certain amount a day.
Winged boots, not winged sandals. They, on command, they sprout wings at the heel and let the wearer fly without having to maintain concentration. As if affected by fly, the wearer can fly 3 times per day for up to 5 minutes per flight. These work permanently.
They work permanently?
This is
15 minutes? No recharge. No charges.
No charges. This is how Splorpy was able to move around the way he was, because there was a really old dwarven boots of flying. So they're very, like, squared off everywhere. Just jammed into his person.
They are not very fashionable, but they are very efficient.
They're probably also a little small on everyone. Well, no, dwarves they're small, but they're not skinny. They're probably really big on everyone. Except for, like, Enderling.
Or Pogue.
Well, they're magic items. They resize. So for a couple seconds, they're big on everyone, and then they just get a...
So... Does anybody want those?
Go for it.
Andy, that'd look good on you with fishnet.
I am not going to take. I'm not going to take any of these items.
You're not going to take that headband of vast intelligence +6, wizard?
Unless if the party is okay giving it to me, I'm not going to touch a item that definitely should belong to someone for sentimental reasons.
I mean, he was an ooze. He's not going to ooze heaven.
No, he's gonna be reincarnated.
So are you okay with me taking the headband, or do you want to keep it for
basically a not non-Euclidean, non-Newtonian dog?
Yeah. Take it.
Yeah, go for it.
Who has not turned to snow?
Okay. So
interesting.
He was a good dog.
Yeah.
I would take that. I have a +2 headband. If anyone wants that?
He was the goodest, squishiest boy.
So does
I have a headband already of alluring charisma.
Yeah, I already have one.
As do I.
Hold me, Oleg.
Studio Ghibli noises come out.
There you go. Put it on.
So underling.
Put it on Pumpkinhead.
Nah, Pumpkinhead needs charisma.
Oh. Put it on the dragon.
You think you can repair the lead shield?
Put it on the Viper. No, don't do that.
It's not magical. You could make whole.
To repair the shield, would that be
Yeah, just make whole.
I cast make whole.
Okay, so let me look at make whole.
I think it's like 3D something roll.
Okay, so but before you even bother, let me read it.
Functions as mending, except that it repairs 1d6 points of damage per level when cast on an object or construct creature.
So
and fix destroyed magic items and restores their magical properties if your caster level is high enough.
Okay, so it would take several castings. Like, this thing has been pretty well shredded.
So I have a question. Didn't we use Stone Shape before to make the thing?
You did. I think.
Could we use Stone Shape to remake the thing?
You could use Stone Shape to make another thing.
So we just made it out of an existing lead deposit?
I'm pretty sure you did. Yeah, that's how it came apart.
Yeah, that's how it came to be.
I was not aware that was an option.
Oh, you were gone that day.
Yes, I was.
Because we found that the rocks, right, had the radioactive stuff inside them, but they had lead around them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we pulled up all the lead off of rocks and made a stone shield or a lead shield.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't have any stone shape prep today because I didn't think we were going back underground.
Well, he said we camped.
You could spend an hour if you'd like.
So how many make holes do I need to?
I don't know. You need to roll it, Donald.
Okay. So how many dice do I need to roll?
It's
5.
5d6. Yeah.
Okay.
Pogue starts taking one piece at a time and sticking them together, trying to mend them.
That's a half decent roll.
That's pretty good, but it doesn't. Like I said, this thing has been pretty well shredded. You're kind of like make hole would work given enough time and enough castings, but you're essentially using it to put a jigsaw puzzle back together. Is what's happening here. So
okay,
and the casting time on that is 10 minutes. Okay.
If we don't mind waiting around for a bit, I haven't used up all of my spells for that slot yet, so I haven't picked them. So I can cast it 2 more times if we're okay waiting around to do that.
Well, we also need to just wait for Francis to get Stone Shape back, right?
Stone Shape would do it much faster.
Yeah, we just need to get the spell back, and then
because also have open slots for casting Stone Shape. You can just spend a couple minutes to make potions of Stone Shape.
That would be much faster.
Yeah.
Is Stone Shape an alchemist spell?
It is now. And Enderling is mighty.
I can use a part of a hour to actually make whole twice and then cast it again if we want to go with that route.
It's not an alchemist spell, but it's a wizard spell, and he got it from Lucy's.
Yeah, and he can copy it out of Lucy's
fastest to get out of here. That's what I say.
The fastest to get out of there would be Stone Shapes after Francis spends the time to like reset the slots because he's a divine caster
Francis
or anything or Lucy.
If
level 3.
so,
I have
so,
two castings.
so how long would it take for Enderling to prep the slots to cast?
It would take a minute.
Okay.
per spell.
Okay. I will let you do that.
How many times am I going to need to cast it?
One casting gives you 100 feet plus 10. Or no, excuse me. I got that way backwards. Holy crap. They give you 20 cubic feet.
Oh, yeah. That was 20 cubic feet's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That would be... You guys could definitely form, like, a dome that you guys could, like, solid snake under. And, like, if you're all carrying it. Or
it's still going to be real heavy, because lead's a real dense metal.
Right, so...
Well, it won't be pure lead. It will be probably some sort of lead...
It'll be a lead...
Galena.
Yeah, granite composite.
Galena.
Whatever.
Yes. It is a lead crystal.
Ah.
It's the Missouri State mineral as well, and it's incredibly common throughout the Earth.
Throughout the Earth.
This is why we must all visit Missouri.
No, ain't nothing here. Unless you guys want to come back to St. Charles again and hang out. That was kind of cool.
Let's look at corn.
Let's look at corn, yeah.
We can listen to it grow.
No, you can't. It's quiet.
Just like Tommy stating the goddamn obvious.
Tommy works in a cornfield for 5 summers.
Shut up, Tommy.
I'm just helping. All right, so the time passes. You guys are not interrupted, and you are able to make a lead blanket. Whether or not you guys carry that or everyone rides on the Viper, both are good.
I'd say we have the Viper and the Dragon move.
Yeah.
Zombie Dragon is
works. That neither of them get tired, and they're both strong.
Yeah, last time we put it on the...
My dragon, it is size, remember I changed the size.
Yeah, it's still large then.
Put it on the Viper.
We just have the Dragon help moving it, if need be.
Sure, forklift. Or a crane or whatever.
Yeah,
we're not going to be moving quite as fast, though, now.
20-foot D-lap around.
I'm not worried about moving quickly nearly so much as I am worried about the rest of you not being turned into toast.
Guys, if you put it on a 5,000, put it on a 5,000-pound Viper, the Viper's not going to do this. Seriously, come on.
Viper's probably fine, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so where are we going?
Turn it into toast by what?
Up.
We're going to the mountains.
Okay, do you want to do that by traveling through the Verduran Forest, or do you want to do that...
You cut out...
Blah! Do you want to do that by traveling through the Verduran Forest, or are we going through the Darklands?
I'm going to assume you said Darklands?
Yeah. Darklands are above...
Yes.
We want Darklands triggers.
He gave you like a choice, and you said yes.
Oh, oops. I thought you understood me. It's
yes.
Whether or not you it's whether or not you guys want to travel through the Darklands or whether or not you want to travel through the Verduran Forest on the surface. The Verduran Forest is faster-ish, snow notwithstanding. The Darklands is safer.
The snake just kind of cuts through the sand, and we can ride that.
Yeah.
Sand. The water sand.
The water. God damn it. The snow.
That cold sand.
Cold sand.
I mean, it would definitely still come down on it. Like, you would still expose yourselves. You have a lead shield. Which I imagine it's kind of like a weird, like, doghouse. How it has, like, a little, like, half oval cutout where the snake's body goes through. And you just have, like, a turtle snake.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good.
Could we build a fire on the back of the snake?
I don't see why not.
I mean, it's made of, like, infernal bronze. I highly doubt it burns.
Yeah, no, you're probably fine.
Well, then there's part of it. Then we could just, I don't know, put some blankets for
blankets.
insulation.
I mean, if you're gonna start a fire on the back of a metal snake underneath a lead dome, you're basically turning it into a convection oven.
Yeah, you are. You're gonna suffocate.
Well, we can
won't.
kind of
Oh,
hold
you wouldn't
the top.
suffocate. Yeah, you wouldn't suffocate.
Open.
Oh no, I don't mean about there not being any oxygen. I just mean it's gonna get real hot.
You need a
Yeah,
hot tub.
because we're in the middle of it.
Do we want to be hot or cold?
We need some towels and,
We want to be, well, when we get outside, we're going to be cold. We're just going to be warmer, hopefully.
yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Wouldn't it put out our fire? Or is it just magic stuff or fires are put?
It's magic fire.
Yeah.
How's it magic
Okay,
fire?
so
When did you get magic
No,
fire?
it's not magic fire. I'm
No.
not saying it's magic fire. I'm saying,
No, you said
would
magic
magic
fire.
fires be put out?
You're not
It
sure.
would be a normal fire. It's a normal fire, so I'm pretty sure we're okay considering.
Yeah,
normal fires work.
normal fires do work.
Is there wood in Svartalheim?
Not really, no.
Wait.
We put a crap ton of wood in Poke's bag of holding from the shop, though.
That you did.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Poke's got some wood.
There's also be a
And
crap
about-
load of wood
Poke
in
always
the
has-
forest we're about to go through.
What? Yes.
So, how much time are we traveling if we would be going through the woods?
You don't know.
How much
It
wood
depends
could-
on encounters and stuff, Donald. But also, it's probably like
How much woodchuck could a
might-
woodchuck of a woodchuck woodchuck?
I
Damn
might
it.
spend another
You mangled
casting
that.
of stone shape to optimize the shield for being placed on
Yes.
the snake. Like make it so it fits well on the snake, and make it so that we have an opening at the top for smoke to filter through.
okay, that's fine. You think it'd probably like it's gonna be a while. Like I said, it's like 300-400 miles to get to the Five Kings Mountains through the Verduran Forest, assuming nothing happens. It'd probably take some days. I'm doing math. Probably like
Take days worth of math.
days worth of math. You will sit there and ponder equations while you wait. It'd probably be like 30-40 days. It's really slow travel. And again, that's assuming nothing jumps out and bites you.
Okay, for starters, if you type out a tongue twister into a text document, that doesn't fucking count.
It does. So.
Secondly,
But I'm just telling you what I said. You said I mangled it, so I'm
yeah, you
saying I
did mangle it.
it.
You did
No.
mangle it.
Because I messed it up on purpose. Because
Oh,
it's how
God, I
much
see.
woodchuck could a woodchuck chuck of a woodchuck chucker could chuck woodchuck.
Well, yeah,
Regular.
that's why you mangled it.
No, I changed the tongue twister into something else.
Children.
Well, what would you need a woodchuck chuck
The
chucker
twist
for?
tonguer. Let's go. We're going to the Verduran Forest or whatever.
Alright.
Above ground.
Fair.
So, how much time are we traveling?
Like I said, it's going to be like 30-40 days.
I'll tell you right now, Hell Night Fest under a lead blanket sounds way better than Gug Fest.
There
Yeah.
are still some gugs floating around down here looking for you.
Gagfest 2019.
We're going to have
Gug
to wait
Fest
some time.
2018 and a quarter.
Pogue doesn't like getting irradiated.
Neither do I.
If
Pogue has no memory of the radiation. Pogue has no idea that ever was a thing that happened.
So
Poke's
wait, if
player
I
doesn't
erase
like
them from
irradiated.
existence, does that mean that Emmy did not get irradiated?
Yes. That's what the
We will be
natural
under
law
lead.
was.
Oh, okay.
Be under wraps.
You'd be under wraps. Alright, so if that's party consensus, this is probably a good place to knock off.
Tommy, for the duration, I'm going to be writing additional wizards.
Okay, do not assume you'll just fast travel 40 days.
Right.
We will do this mechanically because things will definitely happen because you're going above ground, very far behind enemy lines, and that's where we're going to knock off. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. And go check out the Interplanar Crossroads. They want to do a thing at 400 subscribers. Also, we're starting a 2nd edition game real soon. Our session 0 is in... We did our session -1 already. That was fun. Our session 0 is in 1, 2, 3, 4... Well, I'm putting this up on a Sunday.
5 days.
In, so 3 days. Tuesday, and then they stream it. It'll be up on their channel. Be super sweet. We can't be friends if you don't sub. Now we're out of here.
Yep.
Say bye, guys.
Bye.
Just
Bye,
Adam.
guys.
Bye.
Adam's dog will bark at you.
Bye.